Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Welcome to another apostate. Sorry, uh, Martin is here. Just a moment, please. Yes, welcome to another episode. And hi, Martin.
Yes, Muji, can you hear me?
How are you?
Good and you, man.
I'm fine, thank you very much.
I'm looking forward to your debate, man, with
Thank you.
Apostle Prophet.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know why he's not announcing it yet, but he said that. James said it's done. It's going to happen. Yeah, but
I'm surprised
yeah,
because he said he's never gonna debate you again and all kinds of stuff.
I don't know what's going on. I was thinking that he was even hiding that time, not allowing me to talk to him. So he himself, I didn't even ask him. He himself asked to debate him.
Really?
Really, yeah.
I wonder if it's because you debated David Wood so many times and so.
Maybe. Hello.
Hey, Azri.
Assalamualaikum, Mr. Muji.
Assalamualaikum. How are you?
It's evening there, right, Martin?
Here, yes. Here and there, South Africa, it's evening.
Oh.
And Steven, morning, what? Good morning, everyone.
Yes. Steven said morning. Good
morning, Steven.
I wrote him, good morning for you, good evening for us.
There's a debate on modern day debate right now, right?
Right now? I don't know.
Yeah,
okay.
it's David Wood and this other Muslim.
Nadir Ahmad.
Nadir Ahmad, okay. Nadir Ahmad's supposed to call me and talk to me here, but I don't know what happened to him. He said that I think he's also somehow he has radical views as well, of course. And yes, so he was going to call me, then he changed his mind. I don't know why.
Because he thinks you have radical views, perhaps.
Yeah. No. The thing is that I don't know. Usually radicals, they are afraid to talk to me. I don't know. Maybe because of that.
Anyway, Mr. Muji.
Yes.
Yeah, Martin.
Go for it.
Mr. Muji, I'd like to ask. You said that the mention of dress of ihram. So usually what hadith do you use?
Usually what?
The hadith that you refer for dress of ihram.
If I had it, or what do you mean?
Ihram. Dress of
yes,
ihram.
I know the dress of ihram. Yes. So usually, what you said? Usually,
what the hadith that you refer? Hadith.
Hadith. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, it is. I don't know if it is hadith or what, but it is. What is it? It is what Prophet Muhammad has taught them. It's outside the Quran. It's not in the Quran. You cannot find it in Quran. So it must be. If there is no hadith, then it is Prophet Muhammad himself who has said it. Yeah. Something is not in the hadith, but it is teachings of Prophet Muhammad. Okay. Understand? So it has been passed by generation to generation. So it's not necessarily need to be in the hadith. But what I mean is that it is not in Quran. So it is outside Quran teachings of Prophet Muhammad. Am I right or wrong, do you think? Azri.
Yes, it's not in the Quran.
So it is outside Quran teachings of Prophet Muhammad. So whether it is written in the hadith or not, then it is teachings of him. Because Quran says itself that we reveal to you the Quran, you may explain it for the people. Salam, Sayyed. Salam, Sayyed. Salam, my brother. Yes, Martin.
So, Muji, when are you going to accept all hadiths so that you can just realize the truth, Muji?
I never, nobody.
You will never accept all of them.
No, Martin. Nobody, not even those extremists, none of them
Not even
accept
friendly
or
Muslim.
no, I said not even those friendly
Mm.
Muslim is not extremists, but I said not even those extremists. They don't accept all hadith because all hadith they are not authentic. They know everybody accept that there are fabricated hadith, weak hadith, and then authentic hadith.
What
Okay,
about Saeed hadith?
Sahih. That's
Yeah,
it's not Said.
authentic.
Sahih.
Saeed.
Sahih.
Saeed.
I say
Sorry.
yeah. Sahih or authentic hadith. I say that they say it is authentic because the chain of narration, because it is in the book of Bukhari. I say no, 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 no. It's not because of that. If it contradict Quran, then it is not authentic. Okay, it doesn't matter if it is in the book of Quran. Sorry, book of this Bukhari, or it is in book of whoever, or chain of narration reach the closest companion of Prophet Muhammad. It doesn't matter because Quran says itself that there were what is it? These hypocrites around Prophet Muhammad. They were saying things that Prophet Muhammad hadn't said.
So Muji, do
You,
you is there any
so
hadiths that
you a Muslim yet? Martin, this Zagros Oscar ask if you are a
unfortunately
Muslim.
not. No.
No, we are
Muji
Zagros.
told me I don't need to be a Muslim.
No,
I'm fine.
Zagros.
I'm fine. So
Zagros. I'm not trying to convert him to Islam. I'm just trying that people understand Islam and then agree with us that we need to get rid of this, satanic word. And I'm sure that slowly, Martin will accept that. He says the solution is love. I say yes. That's
we
unfortunately,
still have to put our
yeah,
solutions against each other, Muji,
yeah,
so
yeah,
people can vote
yeah.
who has the
Wait,
best solution.
blue. Not all Sahih hadiths is correct. Yes, I know. There have to be more than one hadith to support. Even if there are hundreds of hadiths, yeah, the same. My brother Blue. Even there are 100 hadiths the same. It cannot be sahih or authentic if it goes against Quran. The one, the most important one is the Quran. If it goes in line with Quran, then yes, we have to go according the, according. Hello, Zacharias.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I hope
Been a while.
you're. I hope you're here friendly. Not because we are friendly.
Muji.
Yeah, we are all friendly. By the way,
Muji,
Zagros.
he looks like he's naughty. Muji. He wants to be banned again or something.
He's naughty. No, really, very good. Zagros, your friend never. What is it? This Aladdin. Aladdin never allowed me to talk to him.
Yeah, Muji.
You realize that.
I don't think he. Yeah, I do. I don't think he will talk to you. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
yes, I know. Just I said that I mean, this is not how do you say? It is not correct or honest. It is not honest that he just want to talk to those extremist Muslim to say, oh, look, this is what I'm saying. Okay, if somebody has a different opinion, then he doesn't want to talk to. That's not
I'm
right.
I'm not sure that it's exactly how you put it, because he does speak to people who are of the same opinion as you. Like, I think he's spoken to, I forget, I don't know his name actually. I only know his
Friendly Muslim,
pseudonym,
friendly
yep,
Muslim.
friendly Muslim. I think he spoke to him a couple times, and I know for sure he spoke to some like other Muslims who were, of a similar point of
Yeah.
view as yours. I'm not sure, Muji. I
But
don't know.
why?
He
Why
doesn't
not
want to
me?
talk to you.
Why
I
not
don't know.
me?
I
I
think
mean,
there is something. Yeah.
I have never talked to him just once, 1-2 minutes. Never said anything bad to him. And this is and not even not him. I have never said anything bad to anyone. So why he doesn't want to talk to me? It's very strange.
At that time, I noticed that the moderators was hating Mr. Muji actually. The moderators,
Okay.
was does not like Mr. Muji. So when Apostate Aladdin saw the comments, he like decided not to engage with Mr. Muji.
Which comment?
The comment during his live stream, so he read the comments. So one of them said to kick out Mr. Muji.
Aha. So somebody said take out Mr. Muji.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's. I mean, he doesn't have to listen to people. He has to decide himself. So, I mean, somebody said take him out. So why? Because
But it was one of the moderators.
moderators. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yes, I even in this extremist Muslims channels, there are many extremists right away say take him out, he's not a Muslim and such things, you know. So this is crazy that people say that they are Democrat and then or they are tolerant, but they are not. Okay, Andrew say Martin, hi. Martin, Andrew, say hi. Yes, Andrew, say hi to you. Hi,
Muji,
Andrew.
I have a
Hi,
question.
Andrew.
Yes, please. Yeah, friendly question.
Yeah, you know, Muji, like
Yeah.
I like you. Like
Thank you.
even when I act like a dick or a
Okay.
dickhead or a knucklehead, it's not
Okay.
because I'm actually like a dickhead, you know. Like I'm a
Okay.
nice guy.
All right, very
Uh,
good. Yes.
I'm not gonna call myself friendly this or friendly that, because I tend to become a little bit unfriendly. But like, it's not
Yeah.
that I don't like you. I actually like you. It's
All
just
right.
that I'm
Thank you
getting
very much.
frustrated, you know.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Thank you for
and yeah,
liking me. And yes, I hope
yeah.
that we can be like brothers. So I mean, for me, doesn't matter what you believe in. For me, it matters that you don't harm people and you don't harm yourself. And that's all.
Thank you. That's nice
Yes.
of you. So I
Very good.
actually have two questions.
Yes,
I'm not
please.
sure which one I should start with. I guess.
Mhm.
Okay, let's
Start
go
with
with
the one
the
that will get
easy one.
you banned the fastest. So start with that one.
Okay, I'm not sure I ever brought this one up. So I want to hear your thoughts about Quran chapter 5, verse 51.
Okay, you have to read it because I don't remember all verses. Can you read it,
Can
please?
you pull it up, because I'm on my phone
All
and
right.
I'm not on my
Okay,
computer. Yeah,
let me see.
I think it
Quran,
was 551.
Quran 5:51. Okay, let me see. Al-Madiyah. Okay. Oh, believers, take neither Jews nor Christian as guardians. They are guardians of each other. Whoever does so will be counted as one of them. Surely Allah does not guide the wrongdoing people. Okay, yes.
Which translation is that? Because there are multiple translations from which.
This is, I don't know, this is written, let me see the translation.
You
This
know,
is on
Mujid, there's a website called Corpus Quran. There's a
this is
website called Corp.
let me
Yeah.
find it. There is a site called Quran Awareness something. It has different.
Try,
Yes.
Mujid, try Corpus Quran.
No, let me see.
Yeah.
Here I use this one usually. There is a translation, Safi Kaskas. Believer, do not take the Jews and Christian as allies. They are only allies with one another. And whoever allies with himself with them becomes one of them. God does not guide such unjust people. So I think this is all of them are kind of the same. So is there any problem
Yeah,
with the translation?
the nuance. No, there's no problem. It's just there's some nuance. Like for example, in some translations, the Christians and Jews are referred to as allies. I think, as you said, in some it's guardianship, in some it's friendship. So there are multiple possibilities.
Yeah,
It's
but it
either
is all the
don't
same.
take.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Yeah, I guess kind of. Either
Okay.
don't take them as
So even the
guardians or allies or friends.
Oh, the same.
I want
Yes.
to hear your opinion. What do you
All
think
right.
about
Yeah,
this?
let me tell
it
you.
sounds like the Quran is calling Muji a Christian almost at the moment.
No,
Isn't it,
just
Muji? It
Maybe.
says
just a moment.
you're one of us, Muji. You're one of us.
Just a moment. All right. Okay. Zagros, I read for you, I think I have read for many people, chapter 3, verse 7, okay, and that you have to, not all verses are understandable for everybody, okay? So like this ISIS, for example, Taliban, these extremists, they take one verse of Quran and say, look, this is the entire, you have to follow only this verse. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that those whose heart, in that chapter 3, verse 7, says that those whose heart is corrupted, they follow those verses that are, the true meaning of them are not, precise, okay? They follow that, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala means that when you don't understand it, don't follow it. So how those fearing knowledge understand the true meaning of them is that they put that verse you told me right now beside verse 60, verse 8. Allah says that Allah does not forbid you from those who do not fight you because of your religion and do not expel you from your homes, from being righteous towards them and acting justly towards them. Indeed, Allah loves those who act justly. There are so many verses that I can bring for you that Allah doesn't mean all Jews and all Christians. Allah is talking about a specific Jews and Christians who were enemies, not even about all pagans. Allah is not talking about all pagans. It's talking about only those pagans in Mecca who were attacking Muslims, okay? And the day, Zagros, the day that Prophet Muhammad, this is known by all scholars as well, the day that Prophet Muhammad signed the treaty with Jews and the pagans, Prophet Muhammad said, it is, I think, called, I don't remember the name of that treaty, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that now we are a united ummah with whom? With Jews and pagans. And as a Muslim, every Muslim know what does mean ummah in Islam, okay? It's very strong. It's not just United Nation or something like that. It's different, okay? So Prophet Muhammad called them a united ummah. As long as you don't fight, as long as you don't attack us. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not forbid us from being friend to Martin. And there are so many other verses that in Quran says that chapter 29, verse 46, and do not argue with the people of the scripture except in the way that is best, except for those who commit injustice among them, okay? And say, we believe in that which has been revealed to us and revealed to you, and our God and your God is one, and we are Muslim submitted to him. Chapters 2, verse 62. Those who believe and those who are Jews and Christian and Sabians, whoever believes in Allah and the last day, and do righteous good deeds shall have their rewards with their Lord. On them
Mr. Muji,
shall be no fear, nor they grieve. Yeah, there are many, many verses. Yes, please.
Mr. Muji, you have a daughter, right?
I have what?
A daughter.
Yes, I have a daughter. Yeah.
Do you tell her not to be friends with some people?
No, they are friends with. We are living in Sweden. I have my colleagues. They are all. None of them are Muslims. My neighbors. None of them are Muslims. We are all friends. So my children's friends. They are all atheists or Christians or whatever. So I never say that, of course. Yes.
I think I was somewhat able to follow you, but I'm not sure that I agree. Because that verse, 551, doesn't say, you know, those with whom you are in war, those of whom you are in conflict. It
Okay.
says, you know, in general, a general
No, it
category
doesn't say in
umbrella.
general. What then? Okay, then Zagros. Then
Yeah.
Allah contradicts itself. Yeah. If you were that you know, extremist Muslim like ISIS who say, look here, it says let's kill Muslim, Christian and Jews. Yeah, they do that.
No,
They take
no.
this word.
I don't think it says kill them.
No,
That's
no.
not what I said.
They say
I
no.
think it
Okay.
says do
There
not
are
defend
others.
them.
No, there are other verses also say that go and fight. You know, they call kafir, yeah, kuffar. Fight kuffar, kill them wherever you find it. So they take these verses, all right, and they say, okay, here you see it says, and that's why they take this ISIS, they take Christian and behead them, okay, or Jews or whatever they find they behead. They take such verses, okay, and then say that this is all. You have to put this verse beside other verses. Either Allah has contradicted itself, okay, which you cannot say. A Muslim, okay, we are talking from the point of view of a Muslim, Zagros, okay, not from your point of view. From point of view a Muslim, either Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has contradicted itself, because here it says that do be righteous toward Martin, okay. Allah does not forbid you from being righteous and friendly with Martin, because he's not attacking me. So either Allah contradicts itself, or you don't understand. As chapter 3 verse 7 said, only Allah and those firm in knowledge understand the true meaning of that verse. Who are they? They are those who put these verses beside those verses which I read for you, okay. And I can continue for you. You take just one verse and say this is all. Chapter 3 verse 114. They believe in God and the last day. They enjoy what is right and forbid what is wrong. And this is chapter 3 verse 113 first, okay. Not all of them are alike, okay. Look at here. Of the people of the book are a portion that stand for the right. They rehearse the verses of God all night long, and they prostrate themselves in adoration. Next chapter says they believe in God and the last day. They enjoy what is right and forbid what is wrong, and they hasten in emulation in all good works. They are in the ranks of the righteous, okay. Next chapter 115. And whatever good they do never will be removed from them, and Allah is knowing of the righteous, okay. There are many other verses that I can read for you, you know, chapter 3 verse 199. And there are certainly among the people of the book those who believe in God, in the revelation to you and in the revelation to them, bowing in humiliating to God for a miserable to God. They will not exchange the verses of God for a miserable gain. For them is a reward with their Lord, and God is swift in account. So there are many verses, and you just take one verse and say, I think this is the only verse in the Quran. I think Quran only mean this one, that I have to hate Martin. I have to, you know. No, this is not, my brother. Okay.
I have a question for Zagros.
Yes.
Mr. Zagros. Yes,
please.
Mr. Zagros. Why do you think the Quran does not allow to be friends with Jews and Christians?
I don't know, man. I mean, you should ask Allah if you are Muslim. You know, add it in your prayer.
No, Zagros.
I also don't know.
No, first, Azri, did you hear all these verses I read for you?
yes, but
so
I'm talking about.
And you went again back to that. I told you.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Mr. Muji.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I say that that's only about a certain partition of the Christian. Allah says that not all are the same. Okay, so what you understand it from it is that those Christian and those Jews who attack you, those who join the the pagans in fight, in war against you. So don't be not the only Christian or Jews. It's about even the pagans. Okay, so those who attack you, and let me. I have to find that verse. There is a verse about mankind. Let me. That Allah is talking about in all mankind. That you guys talk. I have to find it.
So Zagros, Mr. Zagros, what other question do you have?
Hanzi. So the other question I have is with regards to the hadith.
Can I read for you? Yes, can I read for you? Chapter 49, verse 13. Okay, Zagros. Allah doesn't say Muslims, Christians, or anybody. Say, "Oh mankind, indeed we have created you from male and female and made you people and tribes that you may know one another. Indeed, the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you. Indeed, Allah is known all aware." So it's talking about not Christian, not Jews, not Muslim, not pagans, it's talking about everybody with any beliefs. Okay. So
Muji, why doesn't it specify in 551? Look, I know I just told you to not befriend, these Christians and Jews, but when I say that, what I actually mean is that you shall not befriend those of the Christians and Jews who are wronging you, who are in conflict with you, who are, backstabbing you and whatnot. Like, why retain some sort of ambiguity when this all-knowing God would have seen, far in advance that people would take this verse literally and not put it together with some other verses, which when you do that concoction, you get some sort of semblance of, okay, it's not that they are not saying, don't be friends with these people. Because it says clearly, Muji, it doesn't add any caveats or anything. It says, do not, befriend or do not be allies with Jews and Christians. And when you start pulling up your verse about, being firm in knowledge and etc., you start losing me. Like, that's where it happens, Muji, because up to a certain, I talk to you about a problem I have. Then you start interpreting it. Then at some point, you start talking about being firm in knowledge. And I'm like, how does it follow, being firm in knowledge? Like, what does he always mean by that? It never makes sense.
Yes, Zagros. Quran, I have told you that Quran chapter 3, verse 7 says how to read Quran, and you ignore that totally. Okay?
Explain me
the writer
again.
The writer
I don't want to ignore it.
Okay, the writer of the book tells you how to read it, okay, and you ignore it. You go and read it another way and say why it is like this. The writer tells you that there are precise verses and unspecific verses in Quran. Those whose heart is corrupted, they follow the one which is unspecific. I have to. I haven't memorized it, but it's. I have to find it. Let me read it for you. Just a moment, please.
What are you gonna read?
The 3 verse 7. Read it correctly for you. Okay. Wait. Because here it is. Yeah, it says, "It is He who has sent down to you, O Muhammad, the book. In it are verses that are precise. They are the foundation of the book." So it is, everybody understand it. Like, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in the name of the most merciful and forgiving God. Okay. And others unspecific. As for those whose hearts is corrupted, they will follow that of it which is unspecific, desiring to create confusion and their own interpretation. Okay. So who is desire to make confusion here is ISIS, Taliban, and those who say that, here Quran, says that we have to, we hate Christian and Jews. So this is, Allah is talking about you. And here, desire to create confusion and their own interpretation. And no one knows its true interpretation except Allah and those firm in knowledge. And they say, those firm in knowledge say, we believe in it. All of it is from our Lord, and no one will be reminded except those of understanding. Only those of understanding. And so how those are, let me continue, how those of understanding, those who with knowledge can understand the true meaning of a verse, okay? Because Allah, we don't have contact with Allah. So only Allah and those firm in knowledge understand. How they understand it, they put it beside other verses. It's not like ISIS who take one verse and say, this is all. They put it beside other verses and say, okay, no, Allah is not talking about all Christian and all Jews. Here Allah says that not all of them are the same, okay? A partition of them are good, they are doing this, they are following Allah, and so on, okay? Martin, did you understand? My brother, Martin?
Sorry, I was talking to Azria.
Yeah, did you understand those verses that I read, that Allah is not talking about you, okay? Did you understand that it's not talking about you, that I don't have to be friend with you? It was very clear that those who follow, the command of Allah, they pray, they believe, okay, they are not the same like those other partition who commit kufr. There are many verses that I can read for you. You don't have to take one verse, Zagres, okay, and say this is. Okay. By the way, you said that why Allah has done like this. Yes, Allah said Allah could send now. In 21st century, a prophet. There are lots of questions. Why every 600? There was a atheist guy was telling me that, excuse me, Microsoft, he update its program every year. Why God doesn't update? This is something that it's a test. This life is a test. Allah wants us to develop. Of course, He could. He says in Quran, if I wanted to create everyone Muslim, I would have done it. To Prophet Muhammad, you are not there to force people to Islam, okay? People have the free will. So this is a test.
Muji,
this is a test.
You
Yes.
took the divine hiddenness argument and you are trying to solve it by saying, well, it is a test. So I don't accept that argument. I don't think it's a valid one. I don't think it's even a good one. So
Okay.
let's just skip that. Let's come back to the topic. So you said, and correct me where I'm wrong, you said
Okay.
there are verses, some verses are clear and some verses are unclear.
Or
Is
unclear.
this
Yes.
the case? So some verses are clear, some verses are unclear. So first, I would need to know, what is your methodology to distinguish between the verses that are clear and the verses that are unclear? What is your method that you use that can be objectively verified and traced back into the Quran that allows you to know which verse is clear and which verse is not clear? Because if a verse is clear, then you don't necessarily need to be firm in knowledge. You can read it and understand it as it is.
Yes. Yeah,
But
clear.
if it is one of those verses that is unclear and ambiguous, then one must be firm in knowledge and put it together with other verses to be
Yes.
able to truly understand it. Is this so
Yes.
far correct?
Yes.
Is this your argument? Okay.
Yes.
So let's
That you have
start.
to put it beside. Yes, the unspecific verses, you have to put it beside other verses. Okay. And
Okay, good.
then you take out the true meaning of it. Yes.
Okay, good. So now let's talk about your method of distinction. How do you make the distinction? Like, how do you know, Muji, which verse in the Quran is clear and which verse in the Quran is not clear? So 551.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume that you will say it's one of those verses which is unclear. Am I correct?
Okay. Yes. Exactly.
So
Why
how
it
do
is
you know?
okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
how do you know
Okay.
that 551 is one of the verses which is unclear, which we will have to have firm knowledge to be able to understand and put it with other verses to truly understand
Okay.
it? How do you
Yes.
know it's unclear?
Okay. How do you know it's unclear? Because
Yes.
there are other verses which I read for you, okay, that says something else, okay. Then if it is clear, okay, if it is clear that I don't have to, be friend with peaceful Christian and Jews, okay, then
Muji,
then it's a
caveats.
contradiction. Okay.
The thing is, you are adding stuff, so don't add things.
Okay.
Just take the verse as it is, because you just added the caveat. Those friendly, no, not
Okay.
those who are friendly or unfriendly. Let's start
Okay.
with 551. Yeah.
All right. I say that better to say like this, that the verses that have different interpretation, okay? So you will see yourself that even the tafsir, okay? There are different books of tafsir about different verses, okay? So a verse that needs tafsir, it's an unspecific verse itself, okay? And a verse, you are muted.
Sorry, who decides whether a verse needs tafsir or not?
Okay.
It's humans, isn't it?
Yeah, that one, who determined that one, perhaps it's the scholars, okay, that they give the tafsir. But when you don't understand it, is not clear, okay, then definitely it's an unspecific verse, all right? So it is not clear, and people
that's a circular reasoning. If it's
okay.
not clear, it's ambiguous. If we don't understand it, it's unclear.
Yes.
What is the objective basis for your decision making when it comes to saying this is unclear versus clear? So you said there can be different interpretations. If there are different interpretations, it is unclear. But I think we can objectively say that any verse in the Quran can have multiple interpretations.
If it needs interpretation, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim doesn't need interpretation. I don't
What
think
does Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim mean?
In the name of the most merciful and forgiving God. Have you, friendly Muslim, salam alaikum, first of all.
Wa alaikum salam.
Have
Greetings,
you ever
everybody.
seen yes, please, thank you, my brother. Have you ever seen any tafsir about that Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim anywhere? Because I haven't seen, I don't know. Maybe you have seen. Anybody make tafsir for Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim? Friendly Muslim?
Off the top of my head,
because
off the top of my head, I can't think.
No, I have never seen anybody make tafsir for that verse of Quran. Okay, and there are other verses of Quran. Definitely, for example, nothing is comparable with Allah. Nothing comparable with Allah. Nobody tafsir.
Is Allah comparable with Allah?
No, nothing. Okay, it means that you cannot compare anything to Allah. For example, when somebody says that Allah has arm or such a things, okay, they are totally, uneducated, because you cannot say Allah has arms, but then they say that, okay, his arm is different, or his, you cannot compare Allah to anything. This is clear, okay? So there is nothing in this universe that you compare to Allah. Let's say he has, for example, head, or he has, I don't know, he has eyes or such a things, okay? So you cannot compare anything to Allah. These are totally clear verses, all right? So I hope that as you understood that that verse is not talking about, when you put it beside other verses, okay, is not talking about all Christian and all Jews, all right? So
okay.
I hope that, yes, Azri.
I have another question. Do you
Yes.
mind moving to a different topic?
Yes, please tell me.
Azri,
okay.
to Hindustani?
No, he's from Malaysia.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And he's ex-Muslim, but I hope that he's coming back. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think about it.
Azri, good for you. Don't listen to this guy.
Okay.
Thank
Yes,
you, Jack Ross. Okay, the question is
up to you. Yes, please.
Okay. What about dreams? What are your views on dreams?
Dreams. So, what do you mean about dreams?
if you had a dream like Abraham, telling you to sacrifice your daughter, will you do it?
Okay, that's look. It is you have to understand that. I don't know if it how it was, but it was a command of Allah. Okay, and the thing is that from the beginning it wasn't meant to. It was just a test. Okay, from the beginning it wasn't meant to that he sacrificed. Okay, and it is all about that. Today when we go to Mecca, these are these are like plans that Allah has planned these things for us, so that we follow them. Today when we go to Mecca, we sacrifice that sheep. Okay, when we experience those equality, okay, and we say that I accept it, okay, then we need to sacrifice for that equality. Okay, equality needs sacrifice. What is that sacrifice, Azri? Is my Lamborghini, my, I don't know, Ferrari, my this beautiful life that many people have it, and they grab it with their, with everything they have. Okay, so people, when they sacrifice that sheep is just the symbol of their precious one, the most precious one, which Prophet Abraham, peace be upon him, was going to do that. Okay, it means that it does, because almost, I think, everybody's most precious one in their life is their children. Okay, so when you're ready to, of course, sometimes you have it happens such a situation that you have to even sacrifice your own children. How? Now, for example, in Ukraine, people are fighting Russia, so people must send their children to fight Russian, for example. Okay, so that's kind of sacrifice, all right, that you say to for a belief, a higher belief. Of course, maybe that belief is false or whatever, that's totally different. But in Islam, okay, when, for example, Prophet Muhammad is fighting the enemy, they are killing them, so there is also this sacrifice that, for example, you have a son or you have a daughter that right now we are fighting Iranian fascist regime, for example. Our children, those who are so determined. Okay, I follow an organization that father, mother, they are in this organization fighting. They bring even their children, to the organization to fight against the Iranian regime, to save Iranian people. Okay, I don't know, Zagros, I think you are Kurd, yeah? Are you?
Yes, I am
Yes.
Kurdish.
So yes, you are Kurdish. So, for example, Kurds, they have also fight against, for example, in Turkey, they have against Turkish government there. So they also need to sacrifice. For example, a father needs to send his son or daughter to that guerrilla groups and say, go and fight the Turks government. Who is right? Who is wrong? I'm not going into that. Okay. Sometimes,
well, I think those who fight the Turkish government are wrong, because
okay, no,
we have seen
saying,
time and again
Zagros,
that fighting is not the solution.
Zagros,
I'll speak on behalf of those Kurds.
No, okay. I'm not going to that. I say that sometimes people make sacrifice for a belief. Okay, those who do that, they believe that, for example, Turkish government is wrong and they want independence and so on, so they are fighting. Whatever. I'm just giving an example. So sometimes you have to really sacrifice your own children in this way. Yes, send them to fight. Yeah, but in reality, that sheep is the symbol of your, this satanic life that encourage you to just what is it, to gather money, cars, and then thinking only about this luxury life. So Allah wants you to give up all these things, okay, and live equal, love one another. All right. So that dream and all these things are just for this reason that we learn today, that we when we sacrifice that sheep, okay, we remember that this sheep is just a symbol, is the symbol of our most precious one. Okay, most precious one. When we are ready to sacrifice most precious one, I'm sure that it would be nothing comparing to sacrificing your children. if you want to sacrifice your Ferrari or Lamborghini or your palace or whatever, that's nothing compared to that much you are going to sacrifice. I hope that you understood that. Understood?
I have a question for Martin.
Yeah.
Martin, do you want to chat?
Yep. What?
I have a question. Do you mind?
Yes, go for it.
So in one of the debates I saw, there is this guy that said Jesus came him to in his dreams and said that being gay is acceptable. What is your view on this?
Where did Jesus come into his dreams and say gay is acceptable?
Yes.
Where?
you think
Where? Can you send me this evidence?
Or this
'Cause I
this
need to know
video,
more about this.
or
What's
there's
the
this
question?
video that talks about that. So do you believe in?
Can you send it to me?
Okay, later I will send you. But do you believe in dreams or do you not believe in dreams?
Sure, I think there can be something like that, but the thing is, if it contradicts the Bible, then you can expect that it could perhaps be God's enemies
Oh,
influencing
okay.
some kind of thing like this. Like these Satanists, I believe they come in contact with stuff. Like I don't believe they don't come in contact with anything. So I believe
Wait
their
a
stories
second.
when they
Martin,
like
you
tell you.
believe in supernatural stuff as well?
I believe that demons exist, but I wish they didn't exist. So if you can explain away the evidence
Oh
I have for
shit.
demons, then I
Fuck
would
me.
love to. What?
Fuck me. You
What?
like the show Supernatural?
I don't know. I don't really watch stuff like that. What? Do you watch supernatural shows or what?
No, it's that TV series.
Hello,
It
Steve.
was quite famous.
Hey, thanks for letting me in.
Just making
Oh,
small
You're
talk, don't mind me.
welcome. You're welcome.
I've been listening. I just been working, so I finally got a little break. So I figured
Your
I'd
friend
join.
the Muslim, you've been oddly silent. Spill it out.
I was waiting for you to tell me, that you missed me and you wanted to say hello. So I was just waiting for you to speak to me and acknowledge me. That was it. But no, I was listening to Muji give his lesson, so I wanted to be respectful of his lesson
All right,
that he
thank
was giving to you. And yeah,
Thank you.
that was it. No,
Yeah,
Hey, Muji, I
Yes.
listened to your last week's
yeah.
discussion just last night because I was on vacation last weekend, so I couldn't make it. But I listened to it just last night. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, last week's was intense with that SD guy.
Yeah, SD guy. Oh my God.
Oh
yeah.
man. And then Martin, I was like, I know you were enjoying that whole entire thing until the end.
Yeah, I
Hey,
just
friendly Muslim, what's up?
how we doing, bro? You
All
okay?
right. Yep. So happy to be here this week. But yeah, I just wanted to say I watched it and listened to it last night, and I was like, part of it, I don't know, it was just a lot. But yeah, I just wanted to say that.
just I mentioned as well to him that I said, look, Steven and Martin, they come here, they talk to us friendly. We just talk, yeah. But such a people really annoying, that even his laughing was annoying.
Yeah, he
So-
sounded like a CP minion or something,
yeah.
because he kept calling you guys Mohammedan, and you were trying to explain to him like, that's almost like us calling you guys, Jesus done or something,
Yeah,
Like,
Jesus, yeah.
you can tell and then he was trolling. He was partly trolling, I think. And he had his mind made up from the beginning. He wasn't really trying to hear anybody out and actually be respectful. So I don't know. I just thought it was entertaining, but it was annoying at the same time.
Yeah, it's very good to have you, my brothers, Martin, Stephen. It's very good that too. It's exactly what I'm saying, that Allah is talking about. When He says that not all of them are the same, He's talking about people like you, of course. Yeah, Zagreus, I would like to ask you: do you accept these verses that I'm going to read, or which one you reject? Chapter 2, verse 177. Righteousness is not turning your face towards the east or the west. Rather, the righteous are those who believe in Allah, the last day, the angels, the books, and the prophets, who give charity out of their cherished wealth to relatives, orphans, the poor, needy, travelers, beggars, and to free slaves, who establish prayer, pay all tax, and keep the pledge they make, and who are patient in the times of suffering, adversity, and in the in the heat of battle. It is they who are true in faith, and it is they who are mindful of Allah. Chapter 4, verse 75. And how could you refuse to fight in the cause of Allah and for oppressed men, women, and children who cry out, Lord, leads us out of leads us towards freedom, out of this land of oppression. Through your grace, give us a protector and a helper. Chapter 5, verse 89. Allah will not call you to account for your thoughtless oaths, but He will hold you accountable for deliberate oaths. The penalty for a broken oath is to feed 10 poor people from what you normally feed your own family, or to clothe them, or to free a slave. But if none of this is affordable, then you must fast 3 days. This is the penalty for breaking your oaths. So be mindful of your oaths. This is how Allah makes things clear to you. So perhaps you will be grateful. Chapter 107, verse 1 to 7. Have you seen the one who denies the religion? That is the one who repulses the orphan and does not encourage the feeding of the poor. So woe to those who pray, yet are not mindful of their prayers, those who only show off and refuse to give even the simplest aid. So there are many other verses, and you see in that latest I read for you is that if you reject religion, Allah says that those who reject religion, they repulses the orphan and they do not feed the poor. Okay, so if you really do these good deeds, for example, you don't break your oaths, you feed the poor, you help the orphans and so on, then you already submitting to Allah's commands. Okay, understand, Zagros?
I'm not sure that I agree with your logic, because so you said those who reject Allah are appalled or something by orphans, you were saying, right? What you
No,
were reading
Allah
a verse
says,
or what?
no, Allah says that those who reject the religion, okay, okay, because the religion is the command of Allah. It says that feed the orphans, feed the poor and so on. This is all. Don't break your oaths. If you break your oaths, I'm not going to, he says that I'm not going to punish you for your, thoughtless oaths, but I'm going to punish you for your deliberate oaths, that you made a deliberate oath and you broke it. So if you break it, you have to do this, free a slave, or feed 10 poor from normal food you eat. So Allah says that those who reject Allah, they reject these things. Understand? And there are so many verses that even if you reject, you don't accept Allah, but you do all these good deeds, okay, then you are, in reality, you are you are following His commands. Okay, so and the one which I read for you.
So I think it's a little bit of a flawed logic, because so you said those who reject religion, are appalled by orphans, whatever, reject orphans.
Yes.
And then you said, however, those who reject Allah but do the good deeds, or reject the religion but still do the good deeds, like feed the orphan and whatnot,
okay,
are in actuality still willingly or unwillingly following the path of God, the will of God. This is assuming if there is indeed such an entity as Allah, like you are begging the question, assuming to be true the very premise that you are trying to demonstrate, prove, the validity of. So if I am rejecting Allah and religions, yet I am still feeding the poor, doing this or that, then it must, then you have to tell me Zagros, you reject Allah, but you still do these things. In actuality, you are still, on the right path. You are still doing Allah's will. And I will say, Muji, this is from your perspective because you believe there is such an entity, and because said entity told you the very things that I have just said like 15 seconds ago. You have to believe that I am indeed still in the path of Allah, even though I reject him or certain of his commands.
Okay.
And I will say, I don't even think, first of all, that there is such an entity, and I am not on anybody's path. I am on my own path. This is what I chose to do. Because if you start saying, that, then we also have to get into predestination, and faith and destiny and all that. Which
There is
I
no
think we should at some point.
I don't believe in predestination. There is no such a thing. Okay, I don't believe in
Well,
that.
I would disagree. If you
Yeah.
attribute to a deity these powers such as omniscience and omnibenevolence and omnipotence, you are actually cutting the own branch that you are sitting on. You cannot posit an
I don't
omniscient and
understand. I
omnipotent.
don't understand.
Wait.
I don't
You
know. I
cannot
don't know what
at
is
the
it.
same time. You cannot at the same time posit an omnipotent and omniscient and omnibenevolent God, and at the same time claim that you have free will.
Okay.
But I
But
guess
God
that's
itself,
another discussion.
but yes, that's another. But God itself, He says that you have free will. Okay, it says in many verses that
would be a
I no,
contradiction.
yes, no. Allah says no. It's not a contradiction. Allah says Himself that if He wanted to make people Muslim, we would have made them. Okay, we decided to make them with free will. Okay, so they choose themselves. Let whoever believe. Whoever disbelieve, let them disbelieve. So it is their choice. Okay, but for that is of course there is a consequences next life. Okay, so and then it's not only to believe, Zagros here, the rest said, chapter 107 verse 4, it says, so woe to those who pray. Who are those who pray? They are Muslims. Okay, and the next one says, yet are not mindful of their prayers, those who only show off and refuse to give even the simplest aid. So it is not about just you even believe. You might not go to the path of Allah. Okay, you might just show off to pray and fast, but you don't feed the poor. So there, and I read for you that was saying, oh mankind. He's talking about everybody, oh mankind. The best of you in front of Allah is the most righteous one, okay? The one who do good deeds. There are so many verses that I can read for you. Allah says, enter my heaven for what you used to do, okay? For your good deeds. So if you do good deeds today, Zagros, it is not in your nature. Okay, it is from the religion of God that has been passed to you generation to generation, that it is bad, that's right, this is wrong. Even for example in Sweden, okay, there are many atheists, but whatever they do, if they are good or whatever, it is because of their Christian teachings that has been inside them. Now even they don't believe, it is inside them. Okay, it has been like it is like an culture now. Okay, and I was talking in my debate with David Wood. I was saying that in the past in Rome and Greek, they were putting these gladiators and killing each other. They were cheering. Who stopped them was Christianity. Who stopped them? Okay, understand? So it is these good deeds is not inside us. Like like a program. So we learn. Who taught us was God with his Arab Bedouins. They were burying
So
their
is
gods
it
alive.
me or is Muji's connection good? Muji, I wasn't able to hear you very well for the past 10 seconds or so. Is it just me or somebody
Martin?
say
It's
something?
just him, I think.
I can hear you fine.
So it
Yeah, I can hear
was
you.
you. Perhaps you are sitting far from your Wi-Fi, maybe.
Yeah, let me get inside because I think.
Yeah. You are living
Okay.
in a warm country, Zagros, yeah? Zagros?
What?
You are living in a warm country.
Yeah.
I see that you have your fan on. We are. You see, I have a sweater. This is not fair.
Yeah,
You have your fan
I
on
wasn't able
even.
to hear it.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
he
have
can't hear
my
you.
sweater.
Moji, he can't hear
Okay.
you clearly.
Okay. Do you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, I say you are in a warm country because I have my sweater on me,
Yeah,
and you
I'm
have your
in
fan on.
I'm in
You have,
Arizona.
yeah, okay. And I
It's
have,
really hot here.
yes, I have my sweater still. Here is 10 degree.
Oh
You know,
shit.
yeah, in
Damn.
Stockholm. Yeah. Anyway, yes, I
So,
hope that.
quick question before we go on too long. Are you saying that there is something intrinsic to humans due to the way they were created, which gives them the capacity and the intuition to be good and do good? Or
No,
are
no,
you
no.
saying
I
that?
know. I'm saying opposite. I say that in nature we are animals, and we do bad only. Okay. So
Okay,
good
so
deeds.
okay,
Good deeds
let
is
me
a
challenge
knowledge.
that before we go on.
Good
So
deeds is a
you are, yeah,
knowledge.
I heard you. You said it is something that we have been passed on. We live in a culture. So how do you explain the development of, morals and ethics in societies like that of the Inuit or the people of the Amazons or people of Polynesia? People who have branched out of European, Eurasian groups of Homo sapiens who
Okay.
have, become like an offshoot, evolutionarily speaking, though in a small scale. Still, we're talking about time frames of 10 to 15,000 years. For example,
Okay.
the discovery of the Americas, South and North,
Okay.
was
Uh-huh.
approximately, I believe, 15,000 years ago. So
Okay.
in those 15,000 years, I don't think there was yet words of Islam yet,
Okay.
without or even words of Christianity or Judaism, Zoroastrianism.
Okay.
None of
Mhm.
that touched the Americas because they were
Okay.
kind of secluded, isolated for about more than
Mhm.
10,000 years.
Okay.
So, how do you explain the moral development, the independent development of certain, moral and ethical codes in, let's say, Mesoamerican cultures like the Aztec or the Maya or the Toltec or the Inca?
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
Can I say? Okay. As I know that there were, all kind of brutality was happening there. Even I think
Yes,
that
that
movie.
is true. But
Yes.
if you are going to talk about the movie Apocalypto, the Mel Gibson movie, and solely base your argument, see in this movie that's how they're depicted, you would be wrong because there were still codes. Like, for example, cities. I actually took classes about Mesoamerican cultures. They would not invade one another without notice. They would let the enemy city know, for example, we will be there in, let's say, half a month, in 2 weeks. We would like your surrender. Like, they would send an emissary in advance. They're like, and we will just appoint an emissary. You will still keep your businesses. You will retain your political system, but you will be paying a certain amount of extra taxes to us. So, in some sense, it is actually similar to Islamic conquests. And insofar as Muslims were requiring jizya of the people that they would conquer, similarly, the larger cities who would conquer or aspire to conquer other cities in Mesoamerica would let them retain their own political systems and their own society, but at a certain cost of an extra percentage in taxes.
Mhm.
So they had barbaric practices, but also we have to distinguish which society are we talking about. Are we talking Aztecs, Mayas, Incas, Toltecs, whichever they were
Can
Okay.
I
holding?
ask one quick question,
And
Zagros?
we must, yes, please.
Just out of curiosity, did those civilizations also have gods, or were they atheists?
They did have certain deities, yeah. and many of them,
No.
to my
Zagros,
knowledge,
wait.
all of them
No.
were
No,
polytheists,
Zagros.
actually.
Zagros. I know that they believed in God, but not one God. They were pagans. Yeah, they believed in God.
They were
had
polytheists.
multiple.
That's what I
Yeah.
just said.
Yes, of course. Yeah, because I heard that you said that they were atheists. No, okay. So maybe you
And
said
still,
theist.
No,
for
I
example,
was
there is this
I was
practice,
asking
like
if
they had a code, like, for example, there would be no raping. For
Mhm.
example, that was one thing
All
in
right.
certain. Some of them,
Okay.
raping was allowed. Some of them, had developed that intuition or that understanding that raping is
Yes.
bad. So how would you
Mhm.
explain certain overlaps like that?
Okay. Zagros, first of all, Allah says that He has sent prophets to every nation. Okay. And sometimes, no, let me tell you that sometimes some people, they do something because of their, not, for example, I don't know if you have seen these buffaloes in Africa. Yeah. When lions take one, sometimes they try to save that one. Okay. So I don't know, I'm not God, but I think myself is not because they feel sympathy or something, because they try to protect themselves as well. Okay, it's something that it might happen to themselves, so it's not out of their their knowledge that what they are doing is something good. Okay, they are trying to help the next one. So sometimes people, maybe they have some practices that they come up with these practices by themselves because they need to do that. Okay, because of their society or their own safety or whatever. Okay, I'm not going to go into that very much, but what I believe and what I know very much is that in nature, when we are born, we don't know what is good, what is right, what is wrong. Okay, we learn this. That's why different culture have different different
Muji, you are
behavior.
wrong. The
Okay.
studies and the psychological literature would suggest otherwise. There is not only, it's not merely cultural or societal construct
So
that
you
we
mean
have
that,
built.
no, Zagros, you mean
There
that
is there is
no,
two
wait, let me
humans.
ask you. You mean that
You didn't even let me
no,
finish.
let me ask you this question. You mean
Okay.
that when we are born, I'm born, I know, that killing is bad, stealing is bad. Yeah.
See,
Do you mean that?
you are drawing a false dichotomy. That's not even where I was going. It's
So
more nuanced than that. If you just want a yes or no answer, yes, we know. But
we
we
know
don't
that.
know
We know that we know. You said that we know
See,
that
man,
killing and stealing is bad.
I just explained under what circumstances I would say we know, and you jumped on me and said, "See, you are saying we know." That's
No,
not
I
how it
didn't
is.
say.
It's
No, I
nuanced.
didn't say C. No, I didn't say C. I'm just asking you again to repeat it. I'm just saying that. So
Yeah.
you say that we know that it is bad, yeah? Stealing and killing bad. Am I right or wrong?
No, you are wrong because it's nuanced.
Okay, so all right.
It's
Okay,
not
so explain.
dichotomic. It's because
Okay,
I
so
was just trying to make the point that you are falsely dichotomizing the situation. Like you are
okay,
giving me
please.
a binary choice. Is it this or that? We know or we don't know. It's
Okay,
neither. It's
okay.
somewhere, in the gray area. So,
Okay.
but first, like we must be cognizant of evolution. What is evolution? Do you know how evolution functions? Evolution by natural selection.
I'm not so sure about that. No.
Okay.
Oh, you mean that
Um,
the cells they pass to next cells and so on?
No,
Yeah,
let Zagros explain it. That's cool. I'd like
okay,
to hear
yes.
Zagros
Because I have
explain it.
heard is that evolution is that the cells are passing because I've seen in the movies, yeah, the cells are passing the
I think you have
information.
the right idea, just not the right words, probably the
Okay, yes,
terminology.
exactly.
So
Because,
by
for
cells, you
example,
mean the genes.
yes, for example, in this movie, what was it? Lucy. They were saying that the guy was saying that yes, they pass by generation to generation the information. Yeah, they pass to each other. Yes. Okay. Tell me, please.
Yeah. So it is thought that the spermatozoa and zygotes are in
Okay.
some sorts of decompression algorithms. So anyway,
Mhm.
Yeah, evolution. Like, you want me to talk about it? Because I think it's a good conversation to be had.
Okay, if it's short, yeah, please.
It's not quite short as I think you'd like it to be. Like, maybe if some other people would like to talk about other things, we can come back to it later because it's important. I think we should talk about it at some point.
Okay,
I have questions. I have questions.
Yes, please.
Okay. Like before, we were talking about dreams. So, do you think that Muhammad marrying Zainab, his adopted son's wife, is out of desire, or did Allah guided him?
Okay, I'm not sure about that. Okay, what I have heard, okay, because I'm not 100% sure that even it happened, or because what I have heard is that what I know, better to say, what I know is that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, married his wives after Khadija radiallahu. He married his wife not for sexual desire. He just married them for the sake of the society, to teach people and so on. For example, he was marrying widows to teach people that marrying widows is not bad, because they were believing that widows are second-hand object and so on. So what I have heard about that marrying his wife of his son-in-law was also is not because he didn't have children with any of them. If he married them for sexual desire, then he should have 20 or 30 children. Okay, for example, I read now.
What?
Sorry.
Maji, come on, man.
Yeah, but no, he would
You
have
can't
children.
say. Listen, he consummated his marriages, so don't say that if he. Well, that's like if because he didn't have children, he would have, he consummated his marriages. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what a marriage
No,
was
okay,
done.
all
What are you
right.
trying to say?
No, friendly Muslim. Did he use? I'm sorry, I have to ask this. But did he use some preventive or what? Because he didn't. I know that he, as I know, he had just maybe one child or something. Yeah, because now I
He had
was
6
reading that.
children in his life.
No, I have heard that he just had 1 or 2 children.
What are
Or
you talking about?
some.
He had 6 children in his life. Maria the Cop
He had, what I have
was
heard is that
pregnant also.
no, what I have heard, he has children with his first wife. That Fatima, for example, was his daughter from Khadija radiallahu. Okay, and then after Khadija radiallahu, he had only, they say that he, and it is not even sure, he had children with one wife, only with one wife, and the rest they were widows and they were their own children. They had already children.
Well, it
when they
doesn't mean that
married
he didn't
Prophet Muhammad.
consummate with them because they had their nights. So you can't say that he wasn't
Okay, so all right,
intimate.
but
I
friendly
mean, that's
Muslim, friendly Muslim.
because
If he had, if wait, right now I was reading that the ambassador of Afghanistan has 3 wives, 14 children. Okay, so if Prophet Muhammad had consumed his wives, all those wives, then he would have for sure 30, 40 children. Okay,
no, not
all right,
necessarily. Not to say that they were of age where
okay,
they could have children anymore. What a
okay,
ridiculous
all
argument.
right, okay. That's
I mean, I've heard
that's
some,
your,
Maji, but
all
I
right,
mean, honestly, mate,
all right,
to completely just
yeah,
rewrite your own history,
okay,
yes,
okay,
he consummated his marriages. That's why they had their
okay,
own nights. What are you talking
all right.
about?
Yes,
And what, because
friendly.
they were older, so they didn't produce children. Okay, well,
Okay,
then sometimes you don't produce children out of every type of thing. What an argument! He would have
okay,
had 30, 40 children. What
yes.
are you talking about?
Yeah, but
He
friendly
was
Muslim.
he was in his 60s also at that point.
Yeah, yes, friendly Muslim. 97 years old, gave birth to a
Yeah,
child
but that's not
few
to say the
months ago.
person he's having
Few
with.
months ago.
So did Maria
Okay,
the Cop
okay,
have it?
good.
All right, well, I mean.
Okay.
I mean,
Friendly
Muji,
Muslim.
I'll if your statements are so wild, yeah, that they're
Okay,
beyond even common sense, yeah, then I'm
okay.
just gonna correct you on that.
All
But
right, yeah, yeah.
for you
No,
to
no,
say that,
no.
because he didn't have 30 or 40 children, he wasn't
Okay,
intimate with his wives, is
okay.
ridiculous. There was only one
All
wife
right.
that he did not have
Yeah,
a night
I
with,
reckon
and that
that's
was
not a good
Sauda.
argument.
All right, okay, friendly Muslim. That's your opinion, okay? Because you believe in those, hadiths that they say, okay? That's your opinion, and this is my opinion, okay? Because I know and I have heard it that he only, even this
Who
one
did
is
you hear it
this.
from, Muji? Muji,
Okay,
let's have some Muji science. Which friend of yours
okay.
did told you about this? Because when you say
Which one?
listen, if someone says something incorrectly, then I'll ask them what's
No,
their
no,
source.
it's not
Now I have to
incorrectly.
ask you what's your source.
No, No, this is everybody's saying that he
Who
had
is
after.
everybody, Muji?
Okay,
Muji,
I
who's
will
everybody?
okay. I will find friendly Muslim. I will find the source. Okay, that after
But okay, so
Khadija
now we've gone
radiallahu.
to no source. Now you have to find a
Okay.
source. Now you said
Yes.
everybody's saying.
All
Now
right.
you've gone to
Okay.
no source.
Okay.
Yo,
That yes. Okay.
Muji,
That's
man, come
what.
on, bro.
No, friendly Muslim.
Be
I will
serious.
find it. No, friendly Muslim. I will find you the source. Okay. I will find Prophet
You don't
Muhammad.
have a
How many?
source. You just made up what you just said,
No.
mate. That's all.
No.
You've just made up
Friendly
your own
Muslim.
little story. Of course, he
No,
consummated his marriages. What are you talking about?
friendly Muslim. Please, friendly Muslim. I didn't make it up. I tell you that. I tell you
Okay,
that I have.
let's see your sources
Okay.
whenever you
No.
get a
No.
time.
I will bring it for you. Okay. I have heard it that he
Who
had
have you heard
only.
it from?
I have read it. I say. Okay.
Where did
And
you
I
read
will
it from?
bring it.
What
Okay.
source?
Right now I don't have it. Okay. I
Ketchup or
will bring it
mustard? Which
next.
source was it?
Okay.
Okay,
Next time. Okay. Friendly Muslim. Friendly Muslim. Next
all right,
time I
fine.
will bring. Okay.
All right,
No.
fine.
Next time I will bring
Okay,
it
I've
for
had
you.
my
Okay.
5 minutes of unfriendliness.
Okay.
It's fine. I'll go back to
Okay.
friendly.
Yes.
Go on,
Friendly
Muji,
Muslim.
carry on.
Okay.
But
Next time. No. Ole, let me
but
see.
Muji, what about the hadith that says that Muhammad had sex with all his wives in one night?
Okay. They say that he also, stoned people to death. Okay. So that's
Yeah, but why did you
they,
reject? That
okay.
doesn't contradict the Quran, right? It doesn't
No.
contradict the Quran, that hadith, right?
No, that's not contradicting the Quran. Yeah, but they say
But you
a
just
lot
don't
of.
like that hadith for
No,
what?
no, no. That's
I wish I
because
was with Zagros at the moment. Bloody hell.
Okay. I will. First of all, no. First of all, we have to
Have a
find.
puff for me, Zagros.
Okay. First of all, wait. First of all, I have to find this about his children, how many children he had. Okay, and the dispute that after the one what I told you that he had after his first wife Khadija radiallahu, he didn't have children with any of his wives. That some people say that he had only with one wife, and that's disputable. Okay, then I have to bring that. Okay, I read it for you from different sources. And if I bring it that, then you will think yourself that how he could have sex with all these wives and so on. That he didn't have children with any. But friendly Muslim says that he had children, perhaps with all of them. I don't know. Let's see. Okay,
Muji, listen,
let's
hold
bring.
it. Okay, did I say all of them? I said
No,
he obviously
you
consummated
had
his
6.
marriages. I'm
Okay.
sure he was.
So you were there. You were there that he consummated. Were you there?
I think what he said is that
Do you have
it
proof?
doesn't necessarily follow that he did not consummate his marriages because he did not have 30 or 40 children like you wanted to be.
Thank you, Zagros. Exactly.
Okay.
That
Yes.
was it.
No. Okay. But this is what I'm saying. Yeah. What I
Muji, were
believe.
you there? Do you know he
Okay.
existed? Following your logic.
No, but I wasn't there, but I can
Muji science at
understand.
work again.
No,
All right, go
no,
on, carry on.
friendly Muslim. No, I wasn't there, but what I understand, okay, friendly Muslim. What I understand is that Prophet Muhammad, who was spreading Islam, he didn't, put his time marrying wife and put his, time on having sex with them. Okay, what he did
Muji,
was
he had nights
yes,
with them, mate. What are you talking
yeah.
about? He had
Okay,
dedicated
who
nights
told
to
you?
wives. What are you
Who
talking
told
about? It's
you?
in the contracts
No,
that he would have.
fr-
You're going
It's in
against
the
the
hadith.
Quran even.
no, friendly Muslim.
Not,
Who
it's
told you?
ridiculous,
Who
dude.
told you
Seriously.
here? No,
Oh
who
my
told you
God.
he
Who
had
told
these
you?
nights?
Who told you?
No,
Who told you, Muji? Who told you, Muji? Where did you get your
who
Muji
told you?
science from? Please
Okay.
Friendly,
tell
is
me.
this
Friendly
hadith knowledge or?
No, he just, the problem is with Muji sometimes, yeah? Rather than just
Okay.
explaining, because he's one hadith, he doesn't know how to explain, right? So he'll just
Okay.
throw everything out and then it'll become something different, right? Let's just keep it very clear. The one where it says
Okay.
he went and he had intercourse in one night with all of his wives, that is a
Okay.
mistranslation. And it's been shown, and they said that he visited, and again, he would have or not done that because each wife had their own night. So again, it was perfectly fair to meet each wife each night and have their night, and wherever he
All
was,
right.
that was his home. Muji, I'm speaking.
Okay.
1 second. 1
Yes,
second. All
please.
right, because I'm not going to keep on letting you just,
Okay. Let's say
say
yes.
false
Yes,
things,
please.
right? And then number two, the other issue was, each wife had a night, and therefore he would have consummated or had time with his wives, and that was fine. And what was your other problem? What was the other issue, Muji? Oh, and why he
My
got
issue.
married? Yeah, some
No,
marriages
no,
were
no.
tribal marriages. They were
Okay.
to reaffirm the bonds between tribes.
No,
That's
that's what
it.
I
So
understand.
with
Yes,
Zainab,
that's
hold
what
on, I'm not finished. Muji Science, 1 second. So with Zainab, also after she got divorced, she was from the Quraysh tribe. So he reaffirmed that tribal bond with a marriage. So that was it. Very simple.
Okay. All right. So
Fine.
now, okay, let me tell you my
Was Zainab the adopted son's
wife.
initial
Yeah.
wife initially? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, okay. So
Okay.
the story
All
is,
right.
Muji,
Okay.
wait 1 second, man, because you,
Yes.
you can make up your own story afterwards. 1 second.
Yes.
So
Not my
then,
own. I say that this is what I have
Muji,
heard.
you could, yeah, whoever your imaginary friend is that you
Yes.
heard it from, you can talk to
Okay.
them, and then you can tell us
All right.
next week. Okay.
Okay.
So, as far as yes, what had happened was, and as certain narrations are, that she had wanted to marry him beforehand, but he pushed for her to marry Zayd, but then that marriage wasn't working out because obviously she was from the Quraysh, and he had been not he had been like a servant to the Prophet, and then what had happened with him was that it turned out that he had been captured and his family had come for him. But when his family had actually come for him, he said, "No, I want to stay with the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him." And that's where he said, "Then fine, I'll take him in as my own." But when all of this happened, I mean, they were in their like 30. I mean, they age him at between 35 to 40, and they also age her quite older as well. That she had children. And so this whole story about when he saw her and then suddenly he lust for her, that's one version. But when you actually go through the narrations, it's there's things that were missaid. And so he knew her all along, and and he also had the waiting period. So he had to wait until her menses were over, and then that's when he was in a situation that she is not married. I think she had children at the time, and then it was a tribal marriage. So this whole lust story doesn't work out that it was a lust marriage, because he could have had her from the beginning, or he could have had her at any time. It was only after they were having problems that he had to then secure that bond within the tribes.
So, friendly Muslim, do you consider it a leadership thing? The reason why he married Zainab?
Nearly every single one of those marriages had to do with a bond being created within tribes or alliances. There was nothing
So he
that
doesn't.
was.
So he doesn't
Yeah,
follow his desire, right?
No, he wasn't. His desire was not a lustful desire. It was more of a case of tribal marriages. He could have had
Okay.
whoever he wanted. There was no reason why. He had enough respect that he could have had as many as he wanted, and there was never
He
any
could
problem.
have. He could. Yes. Let's say.
I have
he
a
could have-
question to
he could
friendly.
have- let me see. He could have just virgins. Why he married, for example, widows with 2-3 children older than himself. Okay, so he married all these women because of a reason, not because of his sexual desire. Okay,
But wasn't
That's
his
all.
favorite wife the small one, the virgin, small little girl,
Okay, that's again.
child,
Yeah, that's again something that.
Aisha?
Yes, the Aisha, which is again from a fabricated hadith. Okay.
So how old was 18? But she
Yeah,
was the youngest, right? She was the
no,
youngest, right?
no, she
Muji,
was
how do you know that it's fabricated?
because the source
Because he
the
doesn't
source,
like it.
No, because the source, okay, the source was lying a lot. Okay, the source has been giving a lot of fabricated hadiths, Mr. Bukhari, like killing apostates and other things that I can bring up, killing dogs. and
Friendly
many other
Muslim,
things.
isn't
Muji, why
that called the genetic fallacy?
No, what?
Okay,
Which one?
look, wait. Let me see, Zagros. Let me ask you this question. Okay, let's say that you are a judge. Okay, and I have been lying in the past. Okay, Zagros, unmute yourself because I want to hear your
No,
confirmation.
I'm hearing. Yeah, I'm listening.
Yes. Imagine that you are a judge, and I have been. You know that I have been lying to you in the past about different, witnesses or whatever. Will you again trust whatever I say, or you be cautious? Can I ask you?
That's a good question. And
You will be cautious, yeah?
So that's not how the judicial system works. So
Okay.
it's not based on a matter of trust between the judge and the accused.
Okay, the fact.
That's
Yeah,
not.
the fact. The fact, yeah.
Yeah. So, for example, let's say that I am accused of having committed a crime, and you
Okay.
are the judge.
Yes.
And I, as the accused, have a record of being dishonest in the past. Some, like, it's a given, okay? Let's say we assume that it is true that I have the potential to be dishonest, and I have been dishonest in the past. My having been dishonest in the past does not constitute any kind of basis for your future considerations when it comes to making a decision on the present case.
No.
You have to assess the evidence and the information that is
Okay.
present at hand,
All right.
and any judge who has biases and misjudges
No,
because
you
they
change
have
it.
because I have been dishonest in the past
No.
is a biased judge, and we do not accept such people as judges. We call them out and we take them out of the judicial system.
No. You change it. I said that. For example, let's say Martin has been lying in the past, and he said that I saw Zagros commit this crime. Okay, and we know I'm a judge. Okay, and I know that Martin has been lying before about other suspects as well. Okay, now he says that he saw Zagros do this. Okay, has done something. Do I have to accept his witness just blindly, or I have to say, okay, no, I have to be suspicious to him, okay? I'm not just going to blindly accept what he says.
So you do not need to base your suspicion and your skepticism on your previous past interactions with Martin.
Okay.
You do not even have, even if Martin has a perfect record, he is like the poster boy of the village. Everybody loves him. He is like the perfect ideal citizen.
So you have to have facts.
Wait, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Even if he's man, okay, let me still say it.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm trying to make a point, we're trying to get somewhere.
Okay.
So even if he is like a perfect ideal citizen, you cannot trust anything. That's not how the judicial system works. Again, if you are just in a simple relationship with someone, and you have the suspicion that they are being dishonest with you, then it's okay, go terminate your friendship. But when it comes to serious matters, when judges are involved, or when deities are involved, or where balances are involved, and hearts are being weighed, then you can only trust the facts. That's why we have the assumption that anyone is
a liar.
Anyone can lie, but we also do not assume that people are guilty simply based on assumptions or prior interactions or somebody's accusations. We gather the information, evidence, we assess it, we see if it leads to you being guilty or not.
Okay, so you just you need the facts, but if the facts is not there, somebody says that somebody 1400 years ago did this, so what, you base your assumption on what then?
So personally,
when it's not there,
so I don't trust any of those sources more than they can be trusted. So just like when you take a measurement with a ruler, or with a protractor or micrometer or whatever, there is a certain degree of uncertainty in every measurement. You measure, let's say you take this lighter and you measure it with a ruler, you read the number on the ruler, it says 5.1 centimeters, so 5 centimeters and 1 millimeter, but the ruler, it has an intrinsic uncertainty to it. It does not have infinite precision, so you cannot know, is it 5 centimeters, 1 millimeter, and 5 nanometers, and 6 micrometers, or to what degree do you know the true length of that lighter? You cannot know it. It's the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So you cannot know it. And when you go back in time and you take information and you assess that information going back in the past, that uncertainty grows exponentially. especially when as soon as you go out of the time frame, you know, since we've been having recording devices, cameras and microphones, you know, solid state drives and whatnot, information storage, visual and audio, you cannot trust, like, you know, you can, if you want, you can even dispute that Muhammad existed, and you can do so, like, there's no problem in that. But we know to a certain degree of uncertainty that such a character is more likely than not to have existed and, you know, did the things that he has done. But again, it's not facts. Like, you cannot know for certain anything, so I cannot trust. Like the hadiths, for example, I don't trust any of the hadiths. I don't even trust the Quran. But I go from your own, because you trust the Quran and you, you know, you know, take the Quran and put it into our business, then I will have to take your word because you believe it and go from what you believe. And I do the same with hadith. And
no, I don't
I
believe
think
in
the
it.
majority of the
No.
Muslims believe in hadiths,
No,
and
no,
you
no.
don't.
No,
It
Zagros.
shapes the actions of the most,
Zagros.
but not yours. So
No,
I'm trying to
Zagros.
understand
Zagros.
what is your objective means of distinction between fabricated hadiths and non-fabricated hadiths, besides just saying it's fabricated because it contradicts the Quran, or that information cannot be found in the Quran. Like, we need more objective, more, you know, precise means of your means of measuring, measuring the accuracy of hadith.
Okay. So, all right, you didn't give me the right answer anyway at the end. So, what I was trying to
What do
say,
you mean the right answer?
yes, because what I was trying to say is that the source has said before many different lies, and so I do not accept everything blindly from the source.
No one says that you should accept it blindly.
Yes, so
but
that's why
when you
this is my
reject
mission.
it blindly, it's the
No,
same
I don't.
false.
No, I don't reject it blindly. I reject it based on certain knowledge, okay? That I believe that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a prophet of God, and whatever he did after he became a prophet of God, it wasn't based on his, you know, his sexual desire or such a things. He was just trying to solve problems in the society. Even he married, because these sources says that he was you know, an adulterer as well. The same source says that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he had you know, sex out of his relation with I think it was a slave, okay, slave girl. So I do not trust such sources. Friendly Muslim, you have heard, yes, perhaps.
Friendly, is it talking about married a Copt when he says adultery and sex?
Yeah, but that's not adultery because she
No,
was
he
gifted
was.
to him. So how is that adultery?
Come on, friendly Muslim.
Emoji, can you repost the joining stream link? Tacos wants to join.
Taco.
Yeah. Remember Tacos? Yeah, he wants to join. So
I don't
different
think more people can
tacos.
join. I don't think more people can join, but okay.
Let me see.
And I
oh,
will
really?
exit then.
All right.
I will
Okay,
exit then. Okay.
I put it there. Yes, I put.
Okay, thank you.
All
If
right.
if you can't join, I'll step out. But yeah.
Okay, no, I think he can. It should be.
I think
10.
Azri said he was. Well, we can get.
I
All
think
right,
you can
okay.
switch between people in the background. You'll have
So
to
You
listen.
put them backstage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Muji,
Yes.
can we say that there are certain hadiths which are true,
Yes,
and
definitely.
there are
I'm
certain
not
hadiths
Quranist.
which are
I'm
not
not.
true?
Yeah, I'm not Quranist.
Okay,
Zagros. Okay, I
Okay.
believe in authentic hadiths. Yes.
okay.
We just
So-
don't know what those authentic hadith are yet. We're still waiting on that.
All right.
Yeah,
Confirmation.
that's gonna be my point. Like,
Okay.
we need some means from you, Muji, because every measurement needs a specific tool. So
Okay.
if you want to measure the length of something, you need something that measures length. If you want to measure an angle, you need a tool that measures angles. So when you want to measure the accuracy, the validity of a hadith, you also need a specific set of tools to do that. And
Okay.
your tools cannot merely be you saying this is fabricated, because it either contradicts the Quran or if it doesn't, because if it contradicts the Quran, I grant that. I think that's a good argument. It contradicts the Quran. The Quran takes, precedence. It takes, its priority. It is likely to be fabricated. That's a good argument. I'm fine with that. But then there are things that are said in the hadiths which you can neither contradict nor validate
Okay, yes, I understand.
by looking at the Quran.
Yes.
So when it comes to those situations, I'd like to know what set of tools you will be using to determine whether a hadith, whether you like it or not, is a true one or a false one. And you cannot just base your argument on saying, the Prophet of Allah is, this, and, I believe in his this and that. Like, you have to look into the historicity of that hadith, how that hadith came to be transmitted from its alleged original sources and whatnot, dating back to Muhammad. And at what point, in this chain, chain of transmission, you can spot the places, where it's been changed. How we need a set of tools, because when you see, Mujid, that's one of the things, right? Some people might not want to talk to you or might not want to talk to you again after one or two interactions, is because you are very arbitrary in the way you attribute these labels and stamps of validity and fabrication. Like, we need something from you, like we can see that you are not a scholar, but I think we're gonna need from you some kind of scholarly work, some kind of PhD level like analysis and whatnot, some kind of research as to how you come to say this is fabricated and this is true. Like, we need a methodology and we need an objective, sustainable and non-biased methodology.
Okay. Of course, definitely is not that easy to explain it, but the one which you said that is contradicting Quran, that's very obvious. Okay.
Yeah.
but there are hadiths that don't make sense even. Okay, for example, the hadith that says that Prophet Muhammad said, go and kill all lizards because they were blowing the fire of Prophet Ibrahim. Okay, because Satan told them to do that. Okay, so this maybe doesn't go against Quran. Okay, there is no such a verse in Quran, but it doesn't make sense at all. So that's why I reject that hadith, because sense make. I mean, I have also knowledge myself that I understand that Satan cannot fool lizards. Okay, and that several times. Yes, no. What science? This is Zagros. Is it Moji science that lizards cannot blow the fire? Do you understand?
So, I agree. That's not a reasonable thing to believe that lizards are breathing fire and whatnot. Just as I think it's not reasonable to believe that Muhammad flew to whatever on a flying thing.
I don't believe in that. No, Zagros, I don't even believe in that. No,
I'm happy for that. That's very good.
I don't believe in that.
Zagros,
awesome.
You had a good point.
Yes.
That something needs to be researched. So where Muji says this was my understanding of it, but someone's actually looked into it and they've seen, okay, was there a translation problem? And they've made sense of what it actually was, then it would make sense. So Muji, before he even gets to that stage of looking into anything, this Muji science Muji will compilate it in his own head, and he'll go, okay, does it make sense to me based on what I've read? No, okay, fine, that's it. It's fabricated.
Okay,
so that's his methodology, which is fine. No, it's fine, Muji. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, it is fine, exactly. Let me tell you. No, let me tell you.
But others would like to research these things.
But let me 1 second. Let me tell you. That's why it works. The scholars, okay, they say their opinion, their translation, their tafsir or whatever about the verse, and people look at it. They say, oh, okay, this scholar is better, or that scholar is stupid. Okay, for example, now we have this marvelous Quran. There is I don't know if you know him, Zagros. There is a YouTube channel, a doctor. He's reinterpreting Quran. Okay. I disagree with him in some point. I listen to him. I say, okay, it makes sense, his interpretation here, okay? So people make their own interpretation, people, they make their own argument on something, and those who listen, they decide, okay? I'm not saying that I have for example, a measurement, I have for example, some equipment that I can measure different things. No, I base on that on the knowledge I have, okay? Yes. Hello?
Guys, quick question.
Yeah. Would you?
Like Zagros makes some good, interesting points. He seems very learned and very knowledgeable. Like,
Okay.
do we know who wrote those hadiths? And how many years are they in the making? Were they like 300 years in the making? What about the Quran? How many years did it take to compile that? Was it like several hundred years after Muhammad died? I mean, what do we really know about these stories? Isn't the hadith just like Arabic culture? I mean, what is it? What are you guys talking about?
Hadith is it came almost it was written down almost 200 years after, okay? And there are so many fabricated hadiths. We know that for example,
Incorrect statement. Anyway,
when what incorrect? It's the first hadith collector was Bukhari, kind of 200 years after, but there were hadiths.
collector,
yes,
not writer. There's a difference. Collection.
Yeah, collector, yes, collection, yes. What I'm talking about is collection. But there were hadiths where everywhere people were talking about these hadiths, orally. And then
Were there any written hadith at the time of the Prophet?
Sorry?
Were there any written hadith at the time of the Prophet? Yes or no, would you please?
Any written hadith?
Yeah.
Perhaps they were, yeah, perhaps.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay.
All right, because I'm not denying that. And then there were, for example, I know that during the fourth Khalifa of Islam, Ali radiallahu, he had an enemy called Muawiyah. He had people hired to just fabricate news and hadiths against Ali radiallahu, okay? And he had made such a, propaganda against Ali radiallahu. When he was killed in the mosque, people were saying, what? Ali was going to mosque? They even didn't believe that he was going to the mosque. So such a things existed at that time, yeah? They were writing, things, propaganda, war was against their different companion as well. So they were enemies of Prophet Muhammad as well. And it is in Quran itself, chapter 4, verse 80 to 83, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that there were these hypocrites who were coming out of Prophet Muhammad's lecture, and they were saying things that Prophet Muhammad hadn't said. So they were even around Prophet himself, they were hypocrites.
But do you think that's like Muhammad's fault for not giving us the real skinny? I mean, if there's flaws in the system and we have to reinterpret and reinterpret surahs and reinterpret hadiths, who's
guilty? Yeah, who's guilty?
Where does the buck stop? Because it seems like everyone has like their own version, their own interpretation.
Okay. Let me tell you.
Interpretation. Like, whose fault is that?
Taco, let me tell you. The who is guilty, okay, is because as I said, an atheist asked me, he said that Microsoft, Microsoft, how do you say it? Remake, or there is a noise somewhere.
But that doesn't make sense.
Yes, okay, let me tell you. Yes, Taco. Update its system every year, Microsoft. Yeah, why God doesn't do that? So you can put this guilt on God. It is his plans, okay? And he decided that it be like this. Of course he can send, right now, for example, he can send a great miracle, not even he could do it every year. For example, Martin knows that this what is it, pancreas, he asked for a little miracle. He just said that if God light up my you have what is it, echo, okay, I will mute you, Taco. Okay, this atheist guy says, Martin, say his name, pancreas, yeah, pancreas. He says that if God lights up my wet napkin, I would believe in God. Okay, so you see that he just need a little very small miracle to believe in God. So why God doesn't send a prophet today and rewrite everything, okay, and split the moon every month for Zagros or for Pine Creek every month. Yeah, it is easy for God. Say that everybody look. This is he's my prophet, and I am God. I exist. Look, I split the moon, and then here is my my new interpretation, my new message, or the same message, but the correct interpretation. So don't listen to Bukhari or this or that. Okay. So
Yes,
he
why?
doesn't do that?
Question,
Yes,
but like Mujib,
yeah, why he doesn't do that?
But
This
is it all just a game? Is God just playing like a game, like Zeus plays with the people? Like in Greek mythology, Zeus loves to play games with the citizens. He loves to like make trouble for humans. Like is this all a game? Like
no, it's not a game, Taco. I said that this is how he created us. He maybe.
But why though? But why?
No.
Why
Okay,
all this? Why all this?
Taco.
I don't get it.
Yeah, Taco. I said this is our situation today, okay, and we have to fight our problems, okay. And God has there are lots of questions, yes, that might be not answered. For example, I say perhaps these angels, they are living on a planet, okay, that has everything perfect the way you want it, Tacos, okay. But He decided to create a planet like this that we are living. There are maybe other planets that are much different. Okay, maybe he sent a prophet every year and split the moon for them, and maybe he has done this on other planets.
Did Muhammad split the moon or not?
No, he didn't do that. Definitely. No.
Muji, do you accept the hadith where Muslims like brag that Muhammad has the sexual strength of 30 men? They like brag about it in the hadith, Muji. They say that God gave Muhammad the sexual strength of 30 men.
Wait a second, Muji. If you say that this is fabricated, are you calling your prophet weak? Are you saying that Muhammad couldn't have had sex with 30 women in one night?
Look at that smile.
Be careful now what you say.
No, I'm saying that Allah, Prophet Muhammad in Quran says, "I'm just like you. I'm just a human being, no different to you." So he wasn't different to any of us. Okay.
Why did Allah choose him then?
But do you accept that hadith, Muji, that Muslims were bragging about it?
Okay.
Did you accept the fact that Muslims were bragging about
it? I haven't heard that hadith. I heard a hadith that
I can give you the hadith.
No, listen to me, Martin. I tell you that. Wait, I tell you that. Yes.
Oh, good evening, everybody.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, you said your prophet was like every other person.
Yes.
Are you aware that a Christian girl recently has been murdered in Nigeria because of your prophet? Human blaspheme against human being, or do human beings blaspheme against God?
I didn't understand what you said.
He's talking about.
Are you aware of the recent happening in Nigeria?
Okay. No, I didn't. I am not aware. What happened?
You are not aware. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay,
many things happen.
Very unfortunate. Let me tell you. A young girl in a school.
Okay, let me explain for you. There are lots of things happens on this planet. Okay, and right now in my home country, a lot of things happens that I'm also concentrating on that. Okay, for example, a few days ago, a building collapsed. Many people died because of corruption, and now there are so many unrest and demonstrations. Zagros maybe have heard many demonstrations inside Iran. So unfortunately, I haven't heard this sad news in Nigeria. Okay, so please you explain for me. Tell me.
Okay, let me just explain it a little to you.
Yes.
A young lady in Nigeria, she was in a school, in a college.
All right.
And they accuse her of blaspheming against your prophet.
Okay.
Is this Deborah?
They stone her to death and they burn her, and you see Muslims rejoicing all over.
Yes, that's terrible. Okay. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Great. That's great. It's good that you say it's terrible. My question is it possible for a man to blaspheme against man?
No.
If Muhammad was just a man,
no.
If Muhammad was just a man, what is the meaning of that tag, blaspheme?
Okay,
Okay.
there is no blasphemy law in Quran. Okay, so I do not accept. Even you can blaspheme against Allah, and only Allah can punish you, not a human being. Okay, this is my understanding of Quran and Islam. Christianity, you always when you call.
So where
there
do
are
the
so many- there are-
Muslims take this from?
they
Where
take
do
it
they
from,
take these things from?
they take it from scholars and fabricated hadiths, because Quran clearly says that those who fight you, okay, and expel you from your home, those who kill you, you just have the right to fight them. And when you capture them, you have to bound them, keep them until the war is laid down, or you compensate them. So Islam doesn't allow you even to kill prisoners of war. All right, that's the Quran. So from where they get it, they get it from these corrupted scholars and fabricated hadiths. That's all.
That's
And then-
wonderful. And these corrupted hadiths are within your Islamic sources.
Yes, many people reject them. Okay, so it's not everybody who accept them.
And some of them are classified. Some of them are classified as what? Sahih.
I know. They are. Yes, they are.
And you are now the one that is filtering this Sahih.
I'm not the one.
classification.
No, I'm not Christianity. I'm not the one. We are millions. Okay, people. We are millions who denounce them. So we
Okay,
have.
you
we have,
denounce so many hadiths.
Yes, we
You
have.
denounce so many hadiths.
Look.
Let me ask you just one simple
no,
question.
Christianity.
You said that so many of these. You said that so many of these hadiths are rubbish.
Let
heard
me
you say
tell
that.
you, Christianity. We also have.
Excuse me.
No, let me
You
say,
said that so many of these hadiths are rubbish. Not so.
Can I tell you something? I
Like
said
the one of killing the lizards.
No,
You call it rubbish.
Christianity. Can I just?
Can you explain to me how
Yo,
did
give him a
Muhammad
second,
become
bro.
a prophet?
Yo, bro, give him a second.
Christianity. We have also our, how do you call it? Renaissance or revolution or whatever. Okay. So we are learning now. In the past, okay, people were uneducated. They couldn't read. There was no internet. There was no such a things. I couldn't read and write nothing. I would just, follow an imam. I would think that imam is, holy. He knows everything, and I know nothing. But today I have knowledge. I can read. I can research. I have Google, and I hear different people. I hear Marvelous Quran. I hear everybody. Okay, I hear different organization and so on, different scholars. So I make up also my own, put that on my own knowledge. So don't say that because it hasn't been done in the past, so it has to continue in the wrong path always. No, it doesn't have to. We are learning and we are developing, we are changing it. Okay, maybe today Friendly Muslim or somebody else doesn't accept what I'm saying, but tomorrow maybe he accept it or someone else accept it.
Not if you just make things up. But Muji, yeah, in regards to that situation with Deborah, which was a tragic situation, they have taken the law into their own hands. They have blasphemy laws, and they took the law into their own hands. So there's nothing in Islam that allows them to just take the law into their own hands and serve justice.
Okay.
That
there
is
not, there is no.
There is nothing that says that they are allowed. Muji, I'm talking, man. Hold on a minute.
No, but you say something, Friendly Muslim. You say their own hands. Okay, you might say that. Okay, how about if there was a judge? Okay, jury. Jury. So would they or what do you call it? This Islamic what is it? Judges. I forgot their name. Okay, so if they were, would they be allowed to punish that girl? Is there any punishment? Is there any punishment? No, is there any punishment?
Muji, if you don't understand something, then wait for me to explain it to you.
Okay, so you
because
say
you
that
can't
there
live in
is
your
punishment.
fairy tale where all hadith are fabricated, and that's
No,
what happened.
it's not about
it
hadith.
doesn't
It's
work,
not about,
mate.
No, it's
And
not
you're
about
disrespecting
hadith.
people that have been affected by a crime by saying that.
No, Friendly Muslim.
You know,
it's
at
not
least
about
have some
hadith.
logic and understand what you're talking about.
I'm asking you.
You're
is
being
there-
disrespectful to someone that got burnt alive. Do you
No,
understand that,
Friendly Muslim.
Muji?
No,
So
I'm not
I
disrespectful
just
to
want to
that.
make one point in his
Is
defense.
there
Though
not?
I don't agree with him,
Exactly.
he wouldn't be from his perspective. He is not disrespecting her because he doesn't believe in the validity of that particular process that you're talking about.
Exactly.
Like,
I'm asking you. I'm
What,
asking
so that's
you.
the
Is there,
you
problem.
can't pick
That's
and
the
choose it,
divide.
mate. I mean,
no, friendly
if
Muslim.
if
I'm
there's
asking you.
jurisdictions
Look,
that you won't,
wait,
Muji,
just a
you don't
second. Just
listen.
a second.
You don't know about
No,
you don't know about
no.
the chain. You don't know.
Just a moment, friendly Muslim. Sorry, I have to mute you. I'm asking you, is there any blasphemy law in Islam? I'm not talking about hadith, in Islam in totality. Okay, please, now explain. Yes, explain. Is there any blasphemy law in Islam in totality? Can you explain?
Can you let me
please?
finish? Because this
Yes,
whole
yes,
thing is
now.
the case.
Okay,
So it's not just about your fairy tales. It's about
okay,
the actual process of what happened.
okay, yes,
Okay, it's because Muslims are being attacked for standing up against these things also. And Muslims
okay,
went on TV and said this was incorrect what happened. It shouldn't have happened. There should be no mob mentality where a girl is just dragged out. She didn't even, the crime, she didn't actually even commit a crime that could be a committable offense. Or she could have got a warning if that was good. She actually didn't do anything. That's the biggest crime of this whole thing. There was no
okay,
crime that she actually committed based on what she said that would have been taken as offense. All she
okay,
literally said was it was in a WhatsApp group and they were talking about their projects and their stories and their actual project work, and people were talking about religion. So she was saying, listen, it's for schoolwork, it's not for all this religious nonsense, basically. That's it, as far as she said, you know. So that was not a crime that she committed, and this mob took her out of the security and they executed her. There's nothing in Islam that says that, and again, the actual laws would have protected her from anything that was any wrongdoing. So she didn't, in my opinion, from what I've seen, there was nothing that she did wrong. Blasphemy laws in terms of sedition and treason. Some countries have personal blasphemy laws, like against religious feelings and things of that nature.
is that correct?
Can you let me finish, Muji? 1 second.
Yeah, okay. I know that they
All
have,
right,
you know.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. There are a hadith, but it's very weak, and they've said that those hadiths are too weak and are one-off, that they can be used as law, and they shouldn't be used as law. So that's the whole picture of it.
Okay. So, but
So
what
yeah,
is
but
your
there's no
opinion?
blasphemy in the
Yes,
Quran. There's no
yeah,
blasphemy in the Quran, and
exactly.
it allows. All right, I was getting to it, Muji, but at least
Yeah.
let's
What
at least
I'm
give some
saying is that
education about
exactly.
what happened and the
Yes.
process of what happened, rather than
Okay.
just it's all fabricated.
No,
You
I'm
know,
not
and it's
saying
not in the Quran,
fabricated.
so that's
There
fine.
is
Then that's what happened.
no. It is not it's not a hadith. It's an accident that has happened. A girl has been killed because
Yeah,
of blasphemy. I say there is no such a things in Quran. That's all I said. I'm not saying something is
yeah, but is
fabricated.
there a law on blasphemy? Yes, there is. But is
Which
a law very specific and abused in countries? Absolutely.
yes,
Muslims
but that's
in
against
Pakistan,
Islam.
in
That's
Pakistan,
against Islam.
in
Yes.
Pakistan, 46 Muslims, or the highest percentage of Muslims charged are with the blasphemy laws.
Okay.
You know, so so these laws are being abused, especially in Pakistan at the moment.
But
Yeah, sorry, Zach, you had a question.
Friendly Muslim, can you clarify one thing for us? Friendly Muslim,
Yes,
are
sure.
there blasphemy laws in Islam? Whether in the Hadith or in the Quran, are there blasphemy laws?
They have assembled in from the Hadith. Yes, there are. But when you say blasphemy, it's sedition and treason. So it's basically blasphemy would be like, oh, let's start getting all these people together and let's start attacking the Muslims. Let's get a group of people where we're going to attack or take life. So that is the extent. It's sedition and treason. It's not for a little girl saying something foolish or saying something rude or anything like that. This is where the laws have been mistaken, you know, and it's the
very
same.
good
So
question.
assuming friendly Muslim, assuming that this girl actually insulted Prophet Muhammad, what do you think would have been the best steps to take?
If the school had a policy, if the laws have a policy, then she should have been offered a trial and repentance, forgiveness, and it
If
should
she
have been
doesn't repent, if she doesn't
verbal
repent,
warning. And then
warning.
if
Okay, and then
But
they
are you
could have
considering the fact that she's not a Muslim? and she
No,
doesn't
no,
believe that Muhammad is
friendly.
a prophet.
I think you should take it to the extreme because you can. I don't think it would be productive to just let it at give a warning. Like let's take it to the end, see, and let's see what can happen
No,
at the end.
then she should.
Yeah.
There's no punishment for blasphemy because she doesn't. Because Christianity. So let's talk about blasphemy then. So not believing in God or saying that Jesus is God would be blasphemy then. So Christianity would be blasphemy also. So that's where this blasphemy laws don't make sense
But
to individuals.
So
but
just to
don't you
clarify,
guys think that blasphemy
No,
laws or anything is kind of like it's silly? That's like kid stuff. Like why do we like if God is so powerful, why does He need us to defend Him and His
But
prophets?
it's
I
not.
don't think
It's,
I
God
don't think
hasn't.
that's the
God hasn't
point.
ordained these blasphemy laws, mate. They've come after the fact. They've come years after the fact and years of development.
But like
It's not.
So I have a question. So are you using treason, sedition / blasphemy interchangeably, or
Well, that's what it should be. That's what it was. That was the initial understanding of what blasphemy was. Because
okay?
in
So
you got
yeah.
so 1 second, Zagros. So what's happened in community? That community of where one person was planning an attack and saying that we're going to gather people and attack these people. That would be the where the blasphemy part has been taken place. That you've left the Muslim community and you're coercing an attack or a taking of life against a group. So the prevention of war, but people were exiled. There were a whole host of punishments that didn't involve death. That along the lines there have been
Just to
other.
quickly jump in,
Mhm.
you said either to coerce an attack or to take lives. So when you say attack, do you mean physical attack?
Yes,
Okay.
violent attack, yeah,
So
a taking of life, not debating, because there were plenty of people that blasphemed against the Prophet. There were plenty of times that he forgave people. He didn't just blasphemy wasn't something that he had a punishment for. That was people are free of religion also. So, but where the initial blasphemy law was based on anybody that was speaking out in order to start an attack, a violent attack, or go against people in a violent way and take life. So that's the origins of these laws.
friendly Muslim.
Mhm.
A friendly Muslim. I just heard you make a statement, blaspheme against the prophet. You made that statement, Nana, a second ago. Blaspheme against the prophet. Is your prophet God?
No one said he was God, so
what?
you can blaspheme.
You just said something like blaspheme against the prophet. Is he God?
I said plenty of people blasphemed against him or talked against him. Yeah.
Yeah, because from what I understand, blasphemy is against God only, against a deity, not being. We don't blaspheme against human being.
No, but exactly that's the
It
whole
should be a
point.
deity.
That's the whole
Unless
point.
Muhammad is a deity, a god, then there
No,
should be
he's
nothing
not.
like blasphemy against
Christianity.
him.
No, but there's nothing against
Christianity.
it. The Quran
No.
says there's nothing in blasphemy, and so that even in the Hadith,
But
there's nothing that says it
all
against
over
God.
the world, we see Muslims killing people in the name of blasphemy. Nigeria, Pakistan, everywhere in the world that you have Muslims. Where did they
Okay.
get that from? And what really is their understanding of who Muhammad is, that they should be
Okay.
killing people in the
Christianity.
name of blasphemy? But if you blaspheme against Allah, you can
Christianity.
say anything against Allah, nobody
Yeah.
will kill you. But the
Okay.
day you say something about Muhammad, the whole Muslim will turn against you and they will execute you immediately. Why?
Not
That
whole.
is
No,
the basic
not
Christianity.
the
Why?
whole.
No,
Christianity. See, the
Christianity.
problem.
Except maybe in the UK and in the US where they don't have the power, but
No.
everywhere
Okay.
in the Muslim world,
Okay.
they will
So
kill
okay,
you.
let me give you an
Not
example. Let me give you an example. So because now we'll show you how you're wrongly saying something. So there was a Sri Lankan office worker, and he accidentally blasphemed, and they lynched him, and it was a mob attack. Now every single one of 6 guys, or I think it's either 22 guys, have been arrested and sentenced. So obviously it's a crime. they would have not been sentenced to crime and death in some cases if it wasn't a crime. So it was a crime that they committed. They're not allowed to do it
Okay,
under any sort of
they
law.
actually attacked the person and they were arrested. They actually attacked the person. Why did they even attack the person in the first place if Muhammad is not a god? Why?
Okay,
Why did they
That's-
attack the man?
In my understanding, though, if you're talking about the event that happened in Sialkot, because there's, I think, a clash in Pakistani law system. It's not fully Sharia, but it's not also fully devoid of Sharia. So I think that was like one of the things.
Christianity. If you do you dare to go to North Korea and say something about Karl Marx? I don't think so. They will kill you definitely. So it's not just Muslims. Okay, this is something that is among people. So they think that they are right. Okay, and I do not accept it definitely as a Muslim. There are millions of Muslims who do not accept that. It is not Islamic. It is people. They also say that I'm not a Muslim because I go against them. Okay, I have the friendly Muslim knows that
Yeah, but only
they call me.
dictators. Only dictators
Yes,
protect.
only- exactly.
Muji, you can
They
deny
are
that it is not
dictators.
Muslim, but that is the core doctrine of Islam. Blasphemy
Sorry,
laws.
no,
They are
it's-
core
No,
doctrines
it's
of
not.
Islam.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
Those
Christianity,
laws, those
see,
things
this
that
is
you see,
Christianity. Listen, my friend.
the
Listen. I
killing
just
of the
explained.
people that you see
I just
around is
explained it
not
to you.
done by any other people except Muslims.
Christianity. I just explained it to you.
Yeah.
I went through the whole chain of what it was, and that now you're still going to make up your own story, right? The people that if they were allowed to do what they did, then the guys that killed Deborah would not have been arrested.
Okay,
And why is
Are
the
the
president
people
of
that
that
killed
country
the
also
people that
condemning
killed
it?
Deborah, are they pagans?
let me read for you
They're
Christianity.
The people
criminals.
that
It was a
killed
criminal
Deborah,
act.
are they pagans?
It was a
Are they
criminal
pagans?
act. It
Let
was
me-
a
let me-
Are they
criminal act.
pagans?
What
Are they
But-
pagans?
what
Okay.
sort of question is it? Are they pagans? What sort of explain to me
Yeah,
what a pagan
are
is?
they pagans?
Listen, Christianity, they don't follow the commands of Allah. That's all. Okay, here I read for you, chapter 88, verse 21 to 26. Remind, O Muhammad, you are only reminder, you are not over them a controller. Whoever he who turns away and disbelieve, then Allah will punish him with the greatest punishment. Allah, not you. Okay. Indeed, to us is their return. Indeed, then indeed upon us is their account. So it is upon Allah, not me. Okay. Chapter 10, verse 99. And had your Lord willed, those on earth would have believed, all of them entirely. Then, O Muhammad, would you compel the people in order that they become believers? So Allah says, don't force them. Chapter 10, 109, verse 6. For you is your religion, and for me is my religion. Chapter 5, verse 92. And obey Allah and obey the messenger and be aware. And if you turn away, then know that upon our messenger is only the responsibility for clear notification. So upon his messenger is not anything else but giving them, like what I'm doing. Okay, I have no right to punish you for believing or disbelieving, blasphemy. I can read for you many verses, and you take some ignorant Muslims have done something, you say that this is Islam.
But hold
Yes.
on a second. But hold on a second. I think there's a flaw in the system itself. Because here's the thing. We understand human nature. Human beings tend to get very emotional and very personal and very
Exactly.
offended when you criticize their system.
Exactly.
If you say something bad about their religion, they get mad. If you say something about their president, they get
Yes.
mad. You mean you don't love Trump? You don't love Biden? Well, you can't be my friend. So religion is like, it's like a primitive political system in which the idiots who are in the system, they get so emotional. It's like, for some reason, like, it's not our fault. I mean, I think it's God's fault for like making it clear to us, like, listen, you guys, I'm just a dude. I'm just a regular guy. I like barbecue spare ribs. I like drinking beer on the weekend. You know, don't take me too seriously. I'm not going to get mad if you say I'm an idiot. But the thing is that this is the flaw in religion.
Tacos. Sorry. Tacos, was it unclear where I was reading for you? There are many other verses.
Yeah, but
It's
Muji, it doesn't really
absolutely
matter though.
clear.
It doesn't really
I-
matter though, because
No,
people
this is
are
people.
very emotional about
Yes,
it.
yes. That's their fault, and they
But-
will be
but I-
punished for them.
But I
No,
think it's God's fault because He's not
Tacos.
factoring in the human
Okay.
emotions.
All right, then.
You understand this?
All right, then you say that God should, create
God is
us
responsible for giving us
like
these
machines.
books and
That's-
making us so and
okay.
so He's
Yes.
making everything becomes perfect.
Perfect. He should make us. Yeah, he
Yeah,
should
but
make
then,
us
but then
perfect.
when God tells you not to take things to the extreme, then don't be an extremist.
But
Then
that's
we
the
should
thing. God's
listen to
not
that
telling
also.
anybody to do anything. People are
No,
just
no.
pretending that He.
Friendly Muslim Taku says that why God didn't create us perfect. So that's
No,
was
I'm
the
not saying
discussion.
that. I'm saying that God should have known better than to give us
He
these
knows.
religions and these books and make us become emotionally attached to the religion.
No, he
You see,
says
that's the problem.
he says clearly, but people don't read.
But
I
it doesn't
know.
matter because God should have known that even if you make it clear to them, they're gonna get emotionally involved in the situation. It's like okay, have you ever been in a restaurant and another man is looking at your wife? What do? Hey, bro, don't be looking at my wife. That's my bitch. That's my woman's shoe. I'm gonna beat your ass up, man.
Yeah, no, because
Man, that's my woman's shoe. That's
No,
what
we
they're
don't-
gonna do. So God should
Muslims
have
don't deal
known.
with that because our women are covered up, my friend. That's why they're covered up.
No,
So
it doesn't
you
matter.
don't
It
get
doesn't
into
matter whether they're
situations.
covered up or not. Guys are going to have
Yes,
fantasies. It doesn't matter. God's going to have fantasies, and God should have known that the human personality, the human emotions, they're going to take things out of control. They're going to get offended. They're going to get personal because everything becomes personal. Hey man, y'all can't tell me my president he no good. Shoot, I'm going to vote for my man. He my president. He my president. I mean, I love me some Biden. Biden going to give me some welfare card. Shoot.
Can I ask Muji something?
Yes, please.
Reverend, that would
Muji-
depend on which God you are talking about. That would depend on which God you are talking about, because the God of the Muslims
It
are
doesn't matter.
quite
All
different
the
from the
gods-
God of the
all the gods-
Christians.
All the gods take it personal.
All right. Yes, exactly.
They are
yes,
not.
please.
They are not.
Because
They are
God
not the
has a
same,
problem.
please.
Because God has a problem. He doesn't know how to take. He
Yes.
takes things too seriously.
Yes.
Mr. Christianity, you need
Reverend.
to look at your own history of blasphemy laws
Okay,
in
yes,
Christianity,
yes,
my
yes.
friend. Then
Okay,
you'll
let-
understand something.
Yeah, let Martin ask question, please, Martin.
Muji, do you know the verse in the Quran that says that Allah prays for Muhammad?
Allah, that's
Prays for Muhammad.
It's not. It
Okay,
says salutations, man. It's a bad translation.
It says praise
Okay.
for Muhammad.
Okay, can we move on? Because I'm not wasting time on this silly argument. You can.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
even-
it has
even,
been-
Martin, Even
Martin.
the Muslims accept that it says pray for
Nobody,
Muhammad.
no one does
No,
that. Martin.
no, it
Hey.
has been Martin. It has been
I can
discussed.
show
many
you the
times.
Muslims
Okay.
saying that it
No, no.
says pray for Muhammad.
Look, it has been discussed many times. I think that what is it? We don't need to spend time on such a small things. Yes.
When David Wood even came up and he brought up this verse, then the person
Who cares what
admitted
David
that it
Wood said?
says.
Who cares? Who cares?
All right,
Well,
Martin. I will
Who
bring
cares?
the.
See, but what are your versions then say? What are
Martin,
your versions then say?
I will bring that one for you next time. Okay.
Okay.
The correct interpretation. The interpretation
It's-
that it is it is matching much better. Okay.
Yeah, but
Then-
it's Surah
then-
33, verse 56.
Okay,
It says
33
that.
verse 56. I will bring
Yeah.
it for you later. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, Steve. I think it is full. 4 people are here, so I will maybe put friendly Muslim. Sorry, no, Christianity. Yes, I put it beside so that you can.
Hey,
Okay.
nice. Good choice.
Yes, hi,
I'm just
Stephen.
kidding.
Hi. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I'm back. I've been listening, but I wanted to join in. It's getting too good, you know.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
But Muji, you still wanted to say something, but you didn't. Someone
33
interrupted you. You said about
33.
what I was
Can you say the verse again?
33 verse 56.
56. Okay, I will find it for you next time. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. What I
I've
was
got it.
saying-
I'm putting the link in the
You-
private chat. It's already been dealt with. I've
Okay,
got it in the
yes.
private chat. There's a link. To
All right. I will.
on it.
Yes, private chat.
Silly.
But Muji, you still wanted to say something about the hadith that was bragging about the sexual strength of Muhammad being that of 30 men. but then so the guy interrupted you. You still wanted to say something about that. Do you accept that Muslims bragged about that, or
Okay. Yeah, I was
you
going to
reject
say
that?
that. Yes, I was going to say that such a things. There was a mullah was saying also that somebody came to Prophet Muhammad. He was hungry or something. Then he somehow, I don't remember exactly what he was saying, but he was saying that he drank Prophet Muhammad's urine and he never again became what is it, hungry ever again. So such a hadiths has been fabricated a lot. Okay, so I'm not going to to
Okay.
every single
How do you
hadith.
know it's not a miracle?
Okay, because
But
then
it's
it would be
Sahih.
okay. If it is a
Sahih al
miracle,
Bukhari.
yeah,
No,
Sahih.
that one. Can I explain that one? That wasn't even.
Wait,
That's not an
wait.
accurate story either.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Zagros.
what happened
No,
was
Zagros asked me a question. Zagros, if it was a miracle, then it would be mentioned in Quran because
but
it's
it's the
not
wrong
mentioned in
hadith.
Quran. Okay. No, Zagros asked me about that urine, that somebody drank his urine and he never became hungry again. Okay, so
No, that wasn't the story. That's the whole problem. The whole story was wrong. It was all
okay.
that happened was there was a servant girl and she took the wrong bowl basically, which was the urine bowl, and so
Yeah.
she drank the urine instead of the actual water bowl or whatever it was. And then so the prophet said to her, it'll line your stomach and it's a blessing. So don't worry about it. It happens. But they took it in jest. And they always called her like Iron Belly or something like that afterwards because
Okay.
it was like one of those funny stories. So it wasn't a
So
like for a
was he
year.
fucking with her?
No, he was being nice after the event and being like, it happens. Don't worry about
Zagros,
it.
we don't use F words here. Okay, please. Okay, in my
Oh,
channel we
bad
don't
word
use
language.
bad language. We don't use here. Okay, please.
Really?
So,
Yeah, no
Yeah,
bad language.
the
not
only F word
kosher.
we use is fabrication and friendly.
no, we don't use such a word. So,
Keep it kosher.
Then-
ladies.
That
then-
word should be considered a cuss word
Majid, then
also.
from now on you cannot say fabricated. Okay?
sorry.
From
Yeah.
now
F,
on you
no,
cannot say fabricated
no.
anymore.
What I'm saying is that, yeah, you know that. Okay, I understand you. I hope that you understand that we don't use bad language. Yeah. So yes, Steve, please say something. You were going to say something. Steve. All right.
My bad.
Yeah.
Using my inhaler, you guys got me laughing. I had to use my inhaler.
All right. So yes, I don't know. Anybody has anything else to say?
Listen, the thing with Muhammad having the strength of like 30 men, that's very common. That's very common in like Greek mythology. Like Zeus was a ladies' man. He was He's the one in True God Zeus, right? And he's a ladies' man. He likes to knock women up. He likes to do unmentionable things with the ladies and create like demigods. So yeah, I think when the Arabs are writing these hadiths about Momo, they're kind of like taking a playbook from the Greeks and trying to say, see, our dude is just as good as your bro, man. It's like dudes in the hood, you got one guy in the hood, he's trying to like he's flexing, yo man, I'm better than you, man. Shoot, yo, you want to fight? You want to throw hands? You know what I'm saying? So it's sort of like yo, my man is better than your man. Yo, what's up? I got the best hoopty car. What y'all got? So it's sort of like that. They're trying to build the dude up. To
Like,
be like the one done, you know what I'm saying?
Taco, just a moment, please. Quran 46 verse 9. Okay, chapter 46 verse 9. Say, I am not something original among the messengers, nor do I know what will done with me or with you. I only follow what which is revealed to me, and I'm not but a clear warner. So there are other verses that Prophet Muhammad says that I'm just like every other person. Okay, I'm not different than any other person. So these things that these are in Quran. So that he was supernatural, he was a Superman, and so on. These are
But this the other thing is the hadith, and so I'll just put it in the private chat. And so it's a mixture of two hadith, but the actual hadith was. Anas bin Malik said, the Prophet used to visit all his wives in a round during the day and night, and they were 11 in number. I asked Anas, had the Prophet the strength for it? Anas replied, we used to say that the Prophet was given the strength of 30 men. See, so that's where the original sort of context of what it was.
Well, yeah, we have to
is.
understand though. Like anytime you read these hadith stories, these are based on Arabic culture and Arabic milieu. Like when you go into the Greek culture, they got their own milieu, they got their own culture. Like in music industry, you have the hip hop community, like the baddest thug, the baddest hip hop artist, right? Everybody's trying to flex, trying to do their thing. And when you read these stories, these hadith stories about Momo, he's doing this. Man, he's the baddest brother in the hood. They're trying to like prop him up. So are these stories are these like literally true? Is he going around like banging the hoes? Probably not. That's just something they made up to say, yo,
Yeah.
man, that's our man.
Dude,
He got
used to visit all Taco. We got to use a bit of like commonality here, and
Right.
and some sort of grace, because talking about banging hoes isn't the best sort of
Well, I'm just talking
contextualization.
about by analogy.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
talking
but we
about
can't like
analogy.
let's
It's
keep it
Arabic culture.
let's keep it a bit civil.
But
But
do you speak Arabic, friendly guy? Do you speak Arabic?
the Prophet used to visit all of his wives,
Right.
and then you also have to look at can I finish? And so the law, or what was the contract, was that he
Right.
would stay with an individual wife. To
Right.
be fair, the laws and the marriage contracts of these marriages was that each wife would have a night, and one wife also forgave her night and said, "No, I don't need him to visit. I'm too old. I've got no interest in these sort of things." So that was for him to visit. So he would visit all of them during the
Right.
day and night as a visit. But they were also historically in groups of 3 or groups of 4 together. They would be in each other's houses. So it wasn't like he was going to each individual house. It was quite often that they would have dinner together, and there were 2 sets, and like there was a group of 3, and there was a group of 4, and there was a group of
Yeah,
3.
well,
So that's how it kind
could
of
be
worked.
1,000 women. It could be 50 women. It's all about the prowess. It's all about like like I'm saying, flexing. Like Zeus was very known to like bang like 100 women a night. That was his thing. And these are just stories like they're using mythological cues from other cultures and saying, "See, our bro is bad too. What's up? Why don't you want to hook up with our guy? Because he bad too."
Can I read something? Chapter 7, verse 188. Say, I have no power to benefit myself or harm myself. Only what God wills happen to me. If I knew the future, I would have increased my wealth, and no harm would have affected me. I am no more than a warner and a bearer of good news to those who believe. Chapter 6, verse 50. Say, I do not say to you that I possess the treasure of God, nor do I know the future, nor do I say to you that I am an angel. I simply follow what is revealed to me. Say, is the blind the same as the seer? Do you not reflect? So many other of course verses that says Prophet Muhammad was just like all other ordinary people.
Okay,
He was just delivering a message.
But
Okay,
if he's
that's
just
all.
a man, so if he's just a man like you and me and other
Yeah.
dudes, look, why do we have to call him the prophet? Why not just call him the dude?
No, he says that I just delivered the message. We call him the messenger.
But
Okay,
whose message? That's the
Like,
thing.
Okay,
God's
Taco,
message.
why do we have to call you Reverend, mate?
Because I'm the reverend of all tacos. Like I control the tacos industry. Like you can't you can't get a taco in America unless you go through me. Nothing goes down unless I'm involved. Capiche?
Okay. So anyway, Taco, this is who tells it. This is depend on if you believe or you disbelieve. So I believe that he was a prophet of God. He was a messenger of God. He was the last messenger of God. Friendly Muslim believe, and you don't believe. That's all. So it's okay.
But
It's
that's
all
the
right.
thing, though.
No
But
issue.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, go
Mujib,
ahead.
do you believe that Muhammad had the capability to like exhibit any sort of, supernatural powers?
Quran says no. The Quran
Because
says that,
you said earlier he was just like anyone else. That's why.
Yes. So I said, like what kind of supernatural? Or only if Allah gave him. Okay, like for example, you want to tell me like splitting the moon? No, He didn't do that. He didn't have any miracle. His miracle was Quran, according Quran. Okay.
So what do you think it says in that verse, like where it says some vague stuff about splitting something asunder?
No, you don't know that. Okay, you don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what do you think
Yes,
it says?
yeah, it says that it's talking about the hour. It's talking about the last day. Okay, that when the last day comes, okay, the moon split. So it's saying the hour approach and the moon split. Okay, it's not saying that Prophet Muhammad split the moon, because if you checked last week, okay, if you checked last week, then you would see I have read for you, for people, that in Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about simple miracle of Moses in many, many verses, okay, and he repeated in many different chapters, just a stick becomes snake. Okay, he's clearly talking, saying to Prophet Moses that drop it, and then after it become snake. The result as well, what happened after that some people believed, some people disbelieved. All these things Quran clearly explains in details, but in that chapter and verse, Quran doesn't explain anything. So if it was a miracle, if Prophet Muhammad did it, then he would definitely explain it very well, because he's really, we can say he's boasting that little miracle of dropping the stick and becoming snake, which today I can say many magicians can do. Okay,
Yeah,
much better than that. Let me please explain. Let me explain.
Wait.
Much better than that they do even today, many magicians. But Quran is talking about that, and even people were saying that this is magic. Okay, so how come Quran explaining in many different chapters and many verses about that little, that small miracle, but about moon splitting, Quran is absolutely quiet. It doesn't say Prophet Muhammad did this and did that and the moon split. It doesn't say anything, and it is connected. When you continue to read, you see that it is talking about the judgment day as well. Yes, Taco, yes.
But we have
please.
to understand, like when we talk about these miracles, Moses did this, he did that with the snake and the wood and all the shtiklach. We have to understand that a lot of these biblical stories, they're kind of like, they're meant to be taken symbolically. Some that could be a parable allegorically. It's not. There's like a hidden meaning. There's an esoteric hidden meaning in the story in itself. Like when we study the New Testament, there's a passage in the Bible where it says, "Our Lord, He speaks in parables." So when we understand what a parable means, it says it's specific. Our Lord speaks in parables. Well, what is a parable? That you also have to take into that you also have to factor in. Like when we hear about the story, like the sun sets in a milky puddle of water or some mud or something. When they're asking Momo about, like, where does the sun set at night? Well, that could be a parable. It could be.
No, that's let me tell you, Taco. That's the same.
That's not historical.
All right, no, that's Allah says in Quran that He says that it looks like for him. Yeah, this. He saw. I mean, when I go myself on the beach and I see the sunset, for me also is looking like that the sun is going in the water.
Yeah. Well.
Zagros, are you eating a taco?
Guys, the sun that you look at in the
Pringles.
Okay, just want to make sure it's authorized. That's all. Okay.
Yeah, the sun that you look at, that's an illusion. That's not real. And I think, well, in the story, it's more like it's sort of like a fairy tale. Though the Arabs were very, very good at storytelling and making up fairy tales, and a lot of these stories are fairy tales.
All right, Zagros, I would like to tell you this. There are many others. Okay, so Quran chapter 7, verse 106 to verse 109. Pharaoh said, "If you have come with a sign, then bring it, if what you say is true." So Moses threw down his staff, and behold, it became a real snake. So this is a little child understand that the language says that Moses dropped his stick and became a snake. Then he drew his hand out of his collar, and it was shining. shining white for all to see. The chief of Pharaoh's people said, he is indeed a skilled magician. So Quran is talking not only about that Moses did this miracle, but the result also was that the chief said this is magic. Chapter 7 verse 115 to 125. They said, "O Moses, will you cast, or shall we be the first to cast?" Moses said, "You first." So when they did, they deceived the eyes of the people, stoned them, and made a great display of magic. Then we inspired Moses. Look, we inspired Moses, okay? Threw down your staff, and behold, it devoured the objects of their illusion. So the truth prevailed and their illusions failed. So Pharaoh and his people were defeated right there and put to shame. And the magicians fell down, prostrating. They declared, we now believe in the Lord of all world. So continue and continue. So many other verses as well. And about the Jesus as well. It's very clear, languagely as well, that language is information. When I say to Zagreb, okay, unmute yourself, it is information. It is how do you call it? The verb is order, an order verb, okay? So, but when you say, for example, yesterday the moon was dark, okay? This doesn't say who made the moon dark, okay? You are just making a statement. That verse that says that the moon split is clearly saying that the hour approached and the moon split. So it doesn't say that we said to Muhammad, point for example, your finger towards the what is it? The moon, and then the moon split, and then the result. You see that in that little miracle, that small miracle, Allah says everything, the details. But how come in that? So these are again fabricated hadiths that goes against logic and against Quran, because Quran says clearly in many verses that you don't need miracle, O Muhammad.
Yeah, but,
Your miracle.
but you can't say that the hadiths are fabricated.
Yeah, I can't say because
None
the
of them are
Quran. No,
fabricated.
Quran says.
But
Quran says.
I know, but these stories, these hadiths, they're based on the milieu of the Arabic culture. They made it. They made those stories.
Yeah, they made it. Yeah,
they made it up for a specific reason. Now, if you want to, like,
they made it up.
Yeah,
if you
they're meant to be read. Like they're meant to be read. It's literature. There's something behind it. You can't. Well, you can say, well, yeah, it's fabricated. We
okay. You know why?
Because we reject the chain of narration.
No, tacos.
No. They're meant to be read because it's part of Arabic literature.
Tacos, please.
No, tacos. I think you're wrong, mate.
No, it's not. There's no such thing as a fake hadith or
tacos. Yes,
your reasoning behind what they were made for and why people took notes and was to know about the Prophet's life.
They made them up because that's part of their culture.
Yes,
Arabs are very good at making stuff up.
Yes. People make up many things. Yes, we know
so
that.
You should read them anyway, whether you think they're fake or not fake.
Yes. No, we need to read the authentic one as well. For example, when Prophet, there is a call here. I think it's Taco. Okay, when Prophet Muhammad says that the pleasure you get in forgiving people, you never find it in revenge. So this is matching Quran, and we follow it. Okay, so let me read for you why is that hadith is fabricated about moon splitting. Quran chapter 29 verse 50 to 51. But they say, why are not signs sent down to him from his Lord? Say, the signs are only with Allah, and I am only a clear warner. And is it not sufficient for them that we reveal to you the book which is recited to them? Indeed, that is a mercy and reminder for the people who believe. So Allah says here that your miracle is your Quran. Chapter 6 verse 35. If their aversion is too hard on you, then seek, if you can, a tunnel into the earth, or a ladder into the sky in order to bring them aside. Had Allah so willed, he would have brought all of them to the right path, so never be one of the ignorant. So this is exactly what I was talking about. If Allah willed, then he would perform the moon splitting every month, and Zagros and everybody would and Pancreas, everybody would believe. So Allah didn't meant to do that. He wanted that people learn, discuss like this that we are doing. So this is his way that he has created. So this is there are many other
Unfortunately,
verses.
some people are going to hell, though, right?
Okay, Mushi,
Some people are going to hell, definitely. Not
Mushi,
everybody.
Mushi, I got a question for you.
So
How
Yes.
come? Wait, hold on, guys. This is very important because I believe that the Hadith is based on Arabic culture, and I think Islam is an Arabic-based religion with Arabic culture, and the mannerisms are Arabic in nature. Like when we look at, when we go to Judaism and Christianity and other pagan religions, they have their own versions of the afterlife and heaven and what goes on in heaven. But when we study the Jewish and the Christian tradition, there's no mention of going to heaven with the houris or grapevines and any of this stuff. Like the Islamic heaven is very, very specific to Arabic culture. We don't find this in Christianity. We don't have this in Judaism. Like there's no mention of what happens in afterlife in Judaism. So how do you reconcile this?
Okay, I can explain for you that.
Yeah, like why do the Arabs get a special kind of heaven, but everyone else don't?
Okay, I don't know about the Christian heaven. Okay?
There's no houris in the Christian heaven.
Okay, and Jewish heaven.
I mean,
don't know.
there's all sorts of heavens. I'm not sure what's the question. Like in all,
Christian
there are,
heavens.
to this day, there are approximately, according
pagan
to
heaven.
research, more than 3,000 active religions to this day.
Yeah, there
How
are
many
Each of
heavens
which,
are there?
there are
each of
pagan heavens.
which
I'm referring
may
to
have their own
Christianity.
heavens. So I'm not sure.
Is there any research on that, Zagros? Like how many heavens there are?
Oh, I'm not sure about that. I just
That's
know
an
that
interesting one.
there are more
Maybe-
than 3,000 active religions.
Well,
That-
I'm
a
referring
tapo
to
heaven.
Abrahamic traditions. If Islam is a continuation of the Arabic traditions, the Christians and Jews don't have a version of the Islamic heaven, is what I'm saying. How do you reconcile this?
How far was Palestine from Saudi Arabia?
I don't know if that's inconsequential to the top.
No,
to the
no, no.
conversation.
How far was Jerusalem from Saudi Arabia or from Mecca?
They're like a stone's throw away.
Like a 24 hours? Like
No, but the point being is that Islam is supposedly a continuation of the Abrahamic tradition, but the Abrahamic traditions don't get the kind of special heaven that Muslims get. Like I don't know any Christian that's waiting, hoping that he'll get houris in heaven. You see what I'm saying? That's
Because
what we're
I
talking
think
about.
one of the arguments is that you cannot take the Christian and the Hebrew Bible at heart. Like apparently, like according to Muslims, from what I know, they have been corrupted or somewhat modified.
Martin,
So-
what's heaven in Christianity like?
There's no
Well,
mention of
heaven is being with God. So
But
God
what
even
you
says
do-
that on earth it becomes heaven when He's here. Like so, yeah.
But
Being
he's not
with him
here,
becomes-
right? So that ended.
No,
when
His
Jesus
full
went.
presence is not here, but He's still here.
yeah,
But His
it's
full
yeah.
presence, love is not here.
What Martin
But you
said is
have
that
fun. You
it's
have
not
fun. Yeah.
carnal.
No, wait.
It's not carnal. Like in,
Yeah,
in
but,
the-
but you have fun.
what else happens though?
Well, there's no mention of
Well-
like carnal pleasures is what I'm saying. It's a totally different thing.
No, but what happens in heaven though?
According
God
to
says
Christianity,
There
it
will be
takes-
no
There
will be no
I was asking
suffering.
Martin, man.
There will be no suffering, no more crying. God will wipe away our tears, and we will be His people.
yeah,
and He will even like
Are they physical
serve
tears?
us.
no,
Are they
they just,
physical tears or
just-
emotional?
No, I'm
tears?
saying He will wipe away our earthly tears. We will not remember the pain and suffering anymore, and we won't be able to feel pain anymore. And
How
we
about
will
fun?
be.
How about fun?
I think it's similar in
Yeah, it's fun,
Islam, isn't
sure.
it?
We will
So,
enjoy.
I have a question. I've
food and
always
everything.
been
Yeah,
interested in Abrahamic mythical beasts and plants, like whether it be the Zabani or the Zakkum plant, or some other trees and vegetation and mythical beasts. What can you say about those, Muji? Like
About what?
let's you know the zakkum plant?
I don't know.
Zakkum. You don't know that plant? I think it's
You know-
mentioned a few times in the Quran.
Yeah, friendly Muslim. Do you know that?
Is there a different what context is it used in? On this not
I don't
really-
know.
Apparently, it's this plant that is
In
found
heaven?
in hell.
In hell, okay.
Yeah, and apparently, I'm not
What, with
sure
thorns?
if this is true. Yeah, with thorns, and people eat it even though their mouth is, being shredded to thorns, and they still have to keep eating it and all that. Do you know
But,
anything about that?
Let me just
Okay.
check up and make sure it's the right hell. 1 second.
All right.
Let me just.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll be back.
okay. Let me tell you, Zagros, about my understanding, and I, of course, I know other people also that understand this. That these are metaphorical. Okay, for example, that because that's totally another dimension. Okay, and it's totally out of comprehension for humanity to understand.
The
that
plant
what-
is described quite well, though. Like
I
it's,
know, no,
and it's
I'm
mentioned like 4 or 5 times.
No, look, I'm talking about huri and vine and such things also in the heaven and the hell as well. Okay,
Oh no,
burning. Yeah, I'm talking
about the zakkum plant.
I know. I'm just what I'm saying that it's I'm answering also tacos. Yeah, in general, okay. God was, because people were not understanding very well that, for example, what kind of reward they would get. Okay, so for them having sex, for example, or having, drinking wine and such a things was a pleasure. So he was promising them such a things, but we don't know how is it exactly. So, for example, maybe because we are soul, we are energy there. Yeah. Maybe we don't have a body at all anymore. Okay. So when you are just energy, you cannot drink wine. So the pleasure is maybe it's hundreds of times more than drinking wine and such a things. Okay. So this is how he was describing for people up. For example, my son, when he was maybe 8, 9, he was asking me about heaven, and he was forbidden to have sweets. He was just we were allowing him once a week. And then he was asking me, how is the heaven? And it was difficult for me to explain for him. He was saying, can I have sweets as much as I want there? Yeah, I said, yes, okay, you can have. So for him, this was heaven. So those people of the past, also for them, the heaven was to having sex and, such a thing. So it doesn't mean that it is exactly that. It is that way. Okay, it's just
how do you look? Okay, so when you think of the afterlife, let's say
yes,
hell and heaven and being burnt on spigots and being
Yeah,
tortured
yeah.
with hellfire, where they'll put flesh on us and they'll burn our flesh. And
these are all, I say, metaphorical. It's just for you to understand the pain. Okay.
But Muslims throughout history didn't understand it as metaphorical. How do you reconcile that?
Okay, I don't care what they believed or did they understand. This is my understanding. Okay, that for example, when I have a good dream, it is much more nicer when I.
What do you mean by a good dream?
But
Good
how
dream.
can
Yeah,
we
what
be
sort
sure,
of
though?
dream?
Yes,
How
yes.
can we be sure though?
For example, yeah, let me tell
metaphorical,
you.
not literally.
Yeah, Taco, let me explain for you. Okay, please. Let
Was
me
it a
explain.
metaphysical dream?
No, just dream.
A
Let me
wet,
tell-
a wet dream?
Zagros. Wait, there was a atheist brain surgeon. Okay, then he went to this near-death experience. Okay, and when he came back, he wrote an article, and he was, he was very scientifically explaining that when he was in a coma, that near the 3 months something, he was explaining that his brain and his life experience, all of them would be connected from his other part of the brain. So this what he was seeing was not through his brain, it was through his soul. And he was he said that he fell in love that's hundreds of thousand times better than real life. He was seeing lights and colors that it was amazing. He would never imagine such a things in real life. So there are some nice experience that when I sometimes I have nice dreams that I fly, for example. I don't want to wake up from that dream. Okay, it's so beautiful that I can fly. I see beautiful views and so on. Okay, so this is totally understandable that when we are dying, when we die, we are not body anymore. We go to another dimension, and things are much totally different than what we know in this life, in this dimension.
But how
So
do we
this
know
is
it's true, though? How do we know it's true?
how we. Okay, that's it's I say always that is not the most important of our
But it's part of it, though, isn't it?
no,
Though?
look, Reverend, sorry, Taco. I always say my most important problem is what is going on today in this world, and that's why I converted to Islam, and that's I understand Allah's messenger were trying to guide us to a better world in this life. Okay, what's going on for us in this life to help each other, love one another, share with each other, and so on, to get rid of all these problems we are facing on this planet. So what happens in next life, that's something else. When we have, I say, when we don't have poor, when we don't have war, when we don't have prostitution, when we don't have all these problems we are facing on this planet, then we can sit and talk about all these things.
But
Okay,
many believers take it literally and seriously.
okay.
Like you're
Yes.
saying that you're saying that it's not really important. You're looking at it more like a humanistic, pragmatic
Yeah,
perspective.
yeah.
But for a
No.
lot of other people, they take it seriously. Like they're afraid of hellfire,
All
they're
right.
afraid of going
Okay.
to hell. They're afraid of all
Okay.
that stuff.
All right. So I say that do you believe in God just because you want to go to heaven? I don't like that.
But
Okay.
many people do, though.
Yes, I know, but it's wrong. I say I believe in God because I want to live in a better world. Okay. I want to be like a human being. I don't want to see people are suffering. Okay. For example, I saw a few days ago there was a child, a newborn child. Okay. Hello, my brother Stephen. Yeah.
Back.
Yes. In Iran, okay, Taco, they had dropped a little newborn baby in a carry bag, in a plastic bag. They had put her in a trash can. People found it, and it was still alive. So I don't want to have why the reason is because a bunch of mullahs, they are destroying the country, they are robbing the country. They have destroyed the economy. People are poor, they don't have even bread to eat. So I want to get rid of such a problems in the world. That's my problem.
How are you gonna do it, Muji? How are you gonna do it? Muji, which solution is gonna work? Which solution is gonna work, Muji? Look at that smile. He knows my solution is better.
I know what
that's why he's smiling like that. He knows.
Yeah. No, Martin, love doesn't bring bread on their table. Okay?
It does.
The system, no. The system that allows those mullahs to take those bread from their table and put it in their bank account and send it to Hezbollah, to Hamas, to other,
it's a lack of love, Muji.
No,
that's why they do it. It's a lack of love, Muji.
Okay,
Martin, do you believe Jesus pooped out of nowhere like 5,000 meals, or what was it? He fed the what? The
Yeah,
500,
I think
5,000?
just like a creator of a game can walk on water in his created world, he can walk through walls. The same with God. You can do.
Wait a minute, you guys. Can we get on? I want to get a consensus. I think Zarkos believes in evolution. Do you guys believe in the modern version of evolution?
I don't believe in evolution.
You believe in it, Zarkos?
I don't believe in evolution.
So tell us what you believe in.
I am cognizant of evolution, and I accept its validity because, as a theory, it has been tested and attacked beyond belief. So in science, you do not work to prove something.
So you technically
instead you work to disprove a hypothesis.
Wait. So you're a non-believer, right?
Yes, he's non-believer.
You don't believe in any religion, right? Any God?
No, I don't like. In my view, the way I define atheism, because that's the word I have to go with,
okay,
is that it is not a belief in disbelief, nor a belief in nor a disbelief in belief. but it is merely a stance of neutrality that one individual maintains with regards to one unsubstantiated claims or another.
So you
Zagros,
basically,
did you grow up in a
sideline.
believing family?
Pardon me?
Were you raised in a family that had religious beliefs? Like, was your family just, like non-believing? Like, did you
I
come
think
about to
Muslim.
be a non-believer, or
My entire family are Muslim. So
okay?
I am a Kurd, and I am a Kurd from
Ex-Muslim.
Turkey. My
Uh-huh.
mother's side are Kurds of the Bujak tribe under the Kurmans, and they are Alevi Muslims. And my father's side are Sheikh Bizani, Kurds of the Sheikh Bizani tribe, and they are Sunni Muslims.
What made you, because I'm sure you were with, doing all this, religious
I was
activities.
never a Muslim.
You
I never
never ever
became a
got into
Muslim.
it?
No. And
Oh,
I
okay.
actually have a very specific story as to why I never got into any religions.
Right, because I remember
Um,
Muji did that. He grew up in a Muslim family and left like in his 20s and then came back. But I was wondering if you were actually involved to begin with and then left. I
Yeah.
was gonna ask
I
like what
never
made you
got
leave, but you were
involved.
never there. Yeah, gotcha.
So
All right.
we used to live in Turkey and in France. I was born in France, and my parents, I think, decided to try the local culture. So they
Right.
tried me with the story of Santa Claus. I was
Okay.
very little,
A
and
lot of that in America. A lot of Santa Claus.
yeah, and
How about
within a week or so, I was 3 years old. I debunked Santa, and that made me a skeptic, and I never got into any religions or anything of that sort.
Damn, shame
Man,
on
if they could just kept
Santa
you going
Claus
with
in your
Santa
turn.
for a couple of more years, man, we could have kept you in it for longer.
But Zagros,
But
how we came to exist, Zagros? if you
Zagros,
don't
but
believe.
I had the same
As
kind of
a-
story,
Wait,
Zagros.
Martin, wait.
When you
do-
say how we came to exist, do you mean living organisms, or do you mean humans as in Homo sapiens?
No, humans. I mean, if you don't believe in evolution, then how
No.
we became humans?
Because I don't believe in evolution, because first of all, I cannot believe in something just to believe in it. Like, I cannot have faith in it, because if you are using the word belief colloquially interchangeably with having faith in something, that's not the relationship I have with evolution. Evolution is a theory, and ever since its birth as a hypothesis, as a mere idea or conjecture, in the mind of Darwin, it has been tested again and again, not with the aim of proving it or substantiating it, but with the aim of disproving it. That's how science works. You get a hypothesis, you make up a hypothesis, and then you subject that hypothesis, that figment of your imagination, that idea, to tests, experimental scientific tests, reproducible tests. Then you publish your papers, and other groups of scientists, research groups or universities and whatnot, or private investigators will replicate that experiment, and they will see if your results are congruent and in agreement with their results. If there's a divergence in the results obtained between different teams, it might be due to, let's say, a systematic error, which is due to one team's equipment setup. So you look into that. The other groups do it, and you constantly attack, and you stab at that hypothesis. And one hypothesis which has sustained all these many hundreds and thousands of attacks by thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of different scientists, gains the title of a theory because it has withstood all those attacks by thousands of people who have been relentlessly trying to disprove that theory. So they try to put all their biases aside, which is not possible, of course, but they try to maximize it the putting aside of the biases by using the scientific method, by using instruments other than our mere 5 fallible senses that are, vision, taste, and smell, and touch, and whatnot.
Yeah,
And
Zagros,
by,
sorry.
subjecting that theory to all these experiments, we continue
didn't
doing
say-
that. We say that it is valid. So
Yeah,
when something is demonstrated to such precision, such accuracy, has predictive power, both in genetics, in genomics, and in archaeology, and paleontology, and in geology,
Zagros,
and in chemistry, and in physics, we can do nothing but
hear
be
me?
cognizant of the theory and accept it.
Zagros.
So this is the
sorry,
state in which I am
You
with
don't hear
regards
me,
to
no?
evolution.
You don't hear me. I'm not
Right.
telling you. I'm not telling you why evolution is wrong. I'm asking you, if you reject that, then why? How we?
I
came,
don't
because-
reject it.
So, so you,
Yes,
you said
accept
that
as
you
a
don't.
theory.
I
You
just
said-
as a
explained to
theory.
you my
No,
entire
you
relationship.
said you don't believe that in evolution. You said you don't believe in evolution. That's
Yes,
what I
and I
heard.
just explained the entire nature of my relationship with the theory of evolution by natural selection.
Yeah,
And-
you said about evolution that how evolution can be wrong. Yeah, you said that evolution can be wrong, but
Any
you didn't-
theory can be
yes, but how we came?
proven to be wrong.
Yes, but how we
There are
came to
many
this-
theories that are
Yes.
later proven wrong.
But
Yes,
look,
indeed.
yes,
Douglas,
Zagros-
Not
there's
wrong
seven-
sometimes,
no,
but
seven-
inaccurate.
no,
Are there
Zagros,
7 theories of evolution?
no, there,
7 strands, I think I heard.
I
that
think
there
there are, yes, multiple theories of evolution, many of which are obsolete. Currently, we are going by the theory of evolution by natural selection, which was first coined and written about by Darwin.
Okay.
okay.
And
I'm sure
to
we
this
can
day,
all
it is still
agree
the
that
best explanation that we have, and
belief
it has predictive power.
Okay, Zagros, you said that I understand, but there are two different theories. One is saying that we are the result of evolution, and one religious says that we came from Adam and Eve. Okay,
That is
So
not
we
a
just
theory.
came.
That is
So,
a conjecture,
I know,
a
I know.
hypothesis.
all right,
So
exactly,
you have
exactly. So
to-
there are two possibilities. There are two possibilities.
No, that's not the case.
So
There
what is
are
the third
there
one?
are infinite possibilities.
What is the third one?
Then it's not 3. There are infinite possibilities.
Okay, the third one. Let's say the third one, and then fourth we don't.
The third one can be it's not evolution, it's not Allah, it's not a god, but it's a goblin with green skin and with a Santa head that farted, and the entire universe came to be.
No,
with
no, no. I'm
humans
not
in it.
talking. I'm not talking about universe. I'm talking about me and you.
Yeah, with you and me
evolution.
ready.
Evolution says that we first we were in the sea, and then we came out, and then we developed, and then became monkey, and then monkey became human. Yeah. So what is, and then Christianity, Judaism, Abrahamic religion says that no, we human, we just came, God created us, we were
Yonmuji, my
then
battery is
from
about
that-
to die. I'm
Sorry?
gonna switch to my laptop because my phone's battery is about to die.
Okay,
Send me
all
the
right.
link, huh?
Okay, yes, please. All right, so I hope that everybody else understand my question. Yeah, my question.
Muji, I think God can do anything. I think he
No,
can
I'm not
use-
talking. No, Martin,
Yeah.
I know that God can do anything. I'm asking Zagros how we came to existence according to him, because he doesn't believe in any of these two. Okay, I say there are two. If there is another theory or whatever, then he can explain for us that, for example, I don't know, we came from another planet. We
Yeah, but
came with,
he said there's infinite, so his number is infinite.
no, I want to know that if infinite, he cannot say there are billions of ways.
There are many excuses,
Yeah,
Muji. You can make
he
many
ha-
excuses.
He has to make them. He
wants the link, Muji. He wants the link.
He doesn't
You have-
have
He
to.
wants
Yeah.
the link.
No, he cannot just say there are billions. He has to tell
Of
me,
course
for
he
example.
can. He doesn't have to tell you anything much.
No, look.
All right.
God created us. That's the end.
I'm gonna let
Yeah, okay,
Muji and
that's-
Zagros have this
yes,
one
yes.
out. I'm
God
getting out
created
this one.
us, and that's the end. If you
No,
don't
no,
believe
yes.
it, you're gonna find ways to argue it. That's it.
Yeah, no, that's, you see, Stephen says that there is one way. Okay.
No, wait, let's
So-
sum it up.
God is the only way.
Guys, let's take it back to the religion. How old is Muji? How old is humanity according to your religion?
According to my religion,
Were humans created
my
10,000
religion,
years ago or
no,
millions of years
no,
ago?
no. In Islam, Quran doesn't say anything about how old is that. Yes, so this is open to interpretation, and there are Muslims who now believe in evolution. Okay, and in the science. For example, I know that there was a there was somebody who was saying that Quran doesn't say that Adam and Eve were the first people. Okay, and there were people here before Adam and Eve, and so they were believing, accepting the evolution, and they were saying that Quran is keeping it open for that.
Majid, you might have to kick the old Zagros out of the studio because it's showing.
Hey, I got a question for everyone. How do you guys feel about the accuracy of science when they find fossils and claim that they're hundreds of million years old, when most people will say that the Bible or most religious perspectives will only claim that it dates back to, say, many thousand years? What do you think about that?
Yeah, so
There are
how
multiple methods to measure, the accuracy
yes,
and the time frame within which, an element like a radioactive element is,
yes.
useful. Some of them can give you dates that can range from, let's say, some couple decades to 10,000 years, with an accuracy of plus or minus 10 years. Some of these radioactive decaying elements, these isotopes, can give you dates up to millions, billions of years. It depends what kind of measurements you want to do and what time frame you're looking at.
But I'm just saying, like, say if you were to timetable, just say creation itself in the Bible, even if you were to take, say, Peter's words where they say in one day is 1,000 days to God, let's just pretend that if you were to go based on what the Bible says, and I can't even, be specific, let's just pretend it only mentions 10,000 years worth of history from the very beginning when he was hovering over, and then you got evidence under the ground that says this is 10 million years old. I mean, that obviously contradicts whether someone's true or not,
Hey, Stephen, let me tell you that in my home country, Iran, there are caves that they have found 20 or 40,000 years old drawing of people in the caves. 20 or 40,000 years, I don't remember exactly. So how can there were people who were living and drawing these things, in the cave. So it cannot be 6,000 or 10,000. Just if you don't talk about the dinosaurs that they were living 65 million years before, okay, or more, 200-300 million years before. If you don't talk about the dinosaurs, only humans have been living here hundreds of thousands of years.
Gotcha. That's a good way of putting it too.
Yes.
Would you say?
But I think you should be skeptical.
But what about
in science? You have to be skeptical of these things.
Martin,
I'm pretty skeptical of these things.
Martin, you cannot reject. You cannot reject. It is blind. If you can reject the facts, okay, the fact is front of you.
What's the facts, Mujib? Tell us the facts.
The dinosaurs' bones and all these things. The drawing of people.
Alligators lived with dinosaurs. They still live now. So.
Sorry.
Alligators lived with dinosaurs, like gators.
How is that an argument, Martin?
I'm
saying like
Tyrannosaurus Rex was a Muslim. Just putting it out there.
Sorry.
What?
Well, let's get a consensus here. The Islamic tradition and Abrahamic traditions, and most of every religion on earth, is only referring to human beings. What if, like, an archaeologist finds non-human beings living on this earth? Let's say not beings that were not like us. We're considered modern apes, modern human beings, non-modern. Like, let's say the Homo sapiens. Okay, we are the Homo sapiens. Let's say the Neanderthals. Are they going to go through Judgment Day?
No. According to Islam, no. According to Islam, even if you ask me and you, if you don't understand something that is right or wrong, and we do it, Okay, we are not going to be punished because of that. Allah says in Quran, I will not punish you for your undeliberate
but like only
oaths.
humans get judgment day, right?
No, human, even human. I say, for
But
example,
what about the Homo
Sure.
sapiens and in the end,
I
it's
said,
all,
I
what
said,
about all those other creatures?
tacos. I said even now. So those who were not understanding, they didn't have even prophets. They couldn't even communicate with each other. I don't know.
Mujahid,
If
didn't you say that prophets were sent to all over the world to all peoples?
Yes, but look, Zagros, people who understood, people who could communicate, not people who didn't even understand, words. They couldn't. I don't think that the Neanderthals they could communicate
No,
with each other.
actually,
They were
actually,
communicating.
yeah, there is a research done, and it is shown that they had some sort of language because the size and the shape of their vocal cavity has been found to be almost exactly
Okay,
similar to that
Zagros.
of humans,
Yes.
which is very conducive to the
Yes,
production of
I
speaking
say,
of languages.
okay, what I'm
And
yes,
also, it is demonstrated, and we know for a fact that
Okay.
Neanderthals actually mated, copulated with Homo sapiens sapiens. So
All right.
every single one of us have Neanderthal DNA in us, except some particular people in Africa who were isolated from Neanderthals at the time of Neanderthals' interactions with some other branches of Homo sapiens sapiens who had migrated northwards towards Europe and Asia.
Yes. So what I'm saying that even today, okay, I'm not talking about those people who were totally, you cannot compare me, you to them. Of course, their
You can.
knowledge. No, their
Homo
knowledge.
neanderthalensis and Homo sapiens sapiens are almost exactly similar.
No, what I'm saying is that their knowledge.
I'm gonna hop off, guys. I'll be
What-
listening though.
Yes,
I'm gonna be
Right.
jump in the live chat.
Wait. What I'm saying is that what I'm saying is that our knowledge, okay, our knowledge to their knowledge, our understanding to their understanding is totally different. Even today, if you really don't understand something, okay, God is not going to punish. For example, when I was 25, I became atheist. For me, some things were okay. Yeah, I was drinking alcohol, I was eating pork or whatever. Okay, so I wasn't understanding it, and I was doing it. So God is not going to punish me, and He has the repentance. Okay. He
Okay,
says,
but I don't. But
no,
I
Taco,
don't.
let me explain, please. Let me explain. Okay, let me finish. So we have the repentance, so that you say, God, I didn't understand, forgive me. Okay, so He knows that you didn't understand, and He forgives you. So He's not going to judge you upon what you didn't understand. He says that I'm not going to punish you for oaths that you make. Undeliberate oaths that you make. Yeah, promises that you make, but deliberate oaths that you break. Yeah, when you promise and you understand and that you are going to break it, then I will punish you. So for anything that you don't understand, He's not going to punish you. That's why a child is not going to be punished, because child doesn't understand, okay, what he's doing. An adult who doesn't understand what he's doing, he's not going to be punished. I'm not going to be punished for that I was drinking alcohol. Okay, if I drink today alcohol, then yes, I know that God might punish me. I'm not saying that He will punish me. I'm saying He might punish me. Okay, so that's why I say that if you don't understand something, then it is not. It's not a sin. Okay, because you don't understand it.
But
Yeah.
I don't understand though. Like, what was the point of like? But what the people that created those cave paintings 40,000 years ago?
Yeah,
If you say they're not under the judgment seat because they don't know about Islam, then what was the point of like creating these beings, these people?
All right, that's a Taco. It's a totally. It's a why, for example, God. Because if you believe that we were those monkeys, okay, why God He created us? Yeah, if you believe in evolution, He created us so that we reach to a level of understanding. Okay, it is not now, in the future, and we live in the way that He wants us to live. We become, human. Okay, human is not a form for me. Human is a way of life. Okay, in that, and entirely, Allah says in Quran that one day we all become righteous, okay, entire humanity. So he created us, and he wanted to guide us step by step to that world, that utopia that he wants us to live in.
How did he guide the caveman paintings and those people that painted those paintings 40,000 years ago? Do they
I
not
say that
guide
no.
themselves?
No, I say that perhaps he even didn't guide them. He doesn't guide monkeys. He doesn't guide animals, because they don't understand. So those people are 40,000 years ago. Perhaps they didn't understand anything. So he was letting them to live like other animals that are living.
But
So
they were
he
able
was-
to paint, though. But painting
Yes,
means
yes,
that there's
yes.
a spark of mind.
Yes, but look, but they
I
were
don't
not.
understand this.
No, they were not ready to get the message. They were not ready to understand the message that God exists. Perhaps, maybe he sent. I don't know. I'm not saying 100%. Yeah, but I say that if he
So
didn't,
no one was ready, but the Jahiliyyah was ready, huh?
the Jahiliyyah, of course, it was the time for them. Yes, they
But
were.
why only
They
humans
were
is like-
modern.
Not the
They-
Chinese empire that was so organized and beautifully built with palaces and these walls and all these thousands of years of culture, or the Japanese.
No, they were
know,
ready. Yes, they were ready, and
They were ready, but the Jahiliyyah had to get the message
Sorry.
in the middle of the desert.
So what is wrong with that? That they get the message. What is wrong?
I mean, because it's inefficient. First
So,
of all,
if
because you are saying the message is not given to people who are ready, then you are saying, even the people.
okay.
There was a messenger sent to everyone. So the Inuit, the Inca, the Aztec, I don't know, the Chinese, the Russians,
Everyone.
whoever, the African, everyone got the message.
Yes, not that the
So-
same message, not the same message. Yes, but they
But
were having
the
message.
central Islamic doctrine, right?
No. I said, for example, the message that is in Islam wasn't, for example, Abraham message wasn't so complete. Like Moses' message wasn't so complete. Bible wasn't so complete. So the complete one came with Quran. Okay, in the past, for example, message could be just like in Persia. Okay, Zoroastrian, or we call it Zarathus. Yeah, Zarathus religion.
Zardashti.
Yeah, Zardashti. Yeah, he had just 3 message: good words, good thoughts, good deeds. Okay, just 3 message. So the message were, because people were not ready for the whole message, the whole concept of Quran. That's why he's waited, and he came. This Zardosht came 5,000 years ago. He was waiting thousands of years for the next message, and he was developing it. Okay, so people were not. Yes, those people of 40,000 years ago, maybe they got the messenger. I'm not the God. I don't know, but maybe they didn't get, because they were not. I don't know how much was their their capability to understand, to get the message. Could they even talk
So
to
they
each
go
other?
to heaven by
Sorry?
default. Then by default they go to heaven.
The heaven as well, we know that has different levels. Yes, definitely they are not going to be punished for what they didn't understand. They are not going to hell for what they didn't understand. So for example, monkeys, animals, they are not going to hell. Okay, what would happen to them? I don't know. All right. So what would happen to those people? I don't know. But definitely they are not going to be punished for what they didn't understand.
Have you heard of Araf?
No, Araf?
Araf, yeah.
I don't know which one is that. Can you please
Friendly
explain?
Muslim, you know Araf? Have you heard of this?
Araf.
What's the spelling?
Apparently, I don't know the spelling, but if I remember correctly, it is kind of similar to the purgatory.
Purgatory.
Araf.
I don't know.
I'll check
But
it out.
Zagros, I
You
think
cannot-
theistic evolution fits the data better than atheistic evolution. That's why when
There is no such a
atheists
thing
is
as atheistic
Or
evolution.
theistic
yeah, there is.
evolution.
There
Really?
is. Atheistic evolution predicts that there would be a lot of junk DNA, while theistic evolution predicts that all the junk that scientists thought would is junk would be have some kind of function. And that's just one of the many predictions that theistic evolution makes above atheistic evolution. Just like the Cambrian explosion, you can make a prediction that it fits more with a creator when there's explosion of life. So when you find something like that, it fits with that.
I think you are aware that when they say Cambrian explosion, it's not an explosion.
Still explosion.
In that,
Chilling.
when
Still
they say
explosion.
Cambrian explosion, they are not using the word explosion in its colloquial sense, wherein species would, things would be speciating at an rate that would be visible, with the naked eye, in reasonable time frames like seconds or minutes or hours. It's an explosion in that there was a rapid period of speciation, especially a certain type of speciation which was from sea to land, and this is what's called the Cambrian explosion, and it's still over a course of millions of years. It's not like over the
Yeah, but
course
it's all
of
over a
days,
very
things
short
are
time.
happening.
Over a very short time in history, and there's massive amounts of body plans suddenly appearing in the strata. Massive
Of what?
amounts of new body plans. Animal body plans. They call it animal body
The
plans.
remains.
Animal body plans. Like there's different kind of animal body plans, and then those animal body plans make later on our body plans.
Body
They'll be found
plans?
today. Yeah, body plans. Go on the internet, you'll see that
Like
they
genes,
call
you
it body
mean?
plans. No, like say you have like a
I've never heard the term body plan, man. Like,
yeah, there's body plans. They call it body plans in science.
I've never
Go
heard
and
them.
check on the internet. Let me see if I can find something for you. But that's just one example. There's also the example that we can predict that we would find like programming code at the base of life. We would find machines and factories at the base of life. We would first find design strategies like automatic error correction, files within folders, data
Wait,
encryption. All of
who
those things
believes
are
in
found
that?
at the base of life. All of
No, no,
those
no,
things
no.
are found at the. I can show you.
No, I
I can
disagree.
send you a scientist.
I
I can send you a scientist.
know what you're talking about when you are saying that there is like a computer code at the base of the universe or reality, and
No, not at
that's
the
not
base of the universe. At the base of life. I'm talking about DNA. Is our code, computer code, is binary code. DNA works with quadrantary code, so it's 4
so
digits, and it's read in 3 digits at a time, and then it gives an order. It's read by a ribosome, and it carries out that orders, and we can change that code so that it follows our orders. So it works. We can even store our programming code in there.
I mean,
We
it
can store our
doesn't
computer
follow
code.
that it is therefore a computer code. There are homologous structure that you can draw parallels between man-made computing systems and natural computing systems or
Well,
computation. You can draw homologous like parallel structures. You can see them, but it doesn't mean that because we see this quaternary or whatever type of code in DNA that it must
scientists use it.
necessarily then be computer code.
Biology, Richard Dawkins says biology has turned into computer science. He says that apart from differences in
that's a
jargon,
metaphor.
he says apart from differences in jargon, the biology journals can be interchanged with computer engineering journals. That's how close it is.
So you think it logically follows from that therefore life is also a computed system that there is a code and that code has been written by an intentful agent?
Yeah, from
Is
our
this
previous
what follows
experience,
from
from our previous experience, scientists always know that code comes from initial input of intelligence. That's why when scientists look out into space looking for code, if that code gives commands to machines and factories, then it will like be massive strong evidence that there's
That's the thing.
intelligence.
There is no code. We call it a
There
code
is a code.
because it's very similar to code.
It is a code. It's not very similar. We can even store our code in that code. That's why it's a code. We can store our computer code in the DNA code. We use it to store our computer code already.
So is Martin saying
It
that?
still doesn't follow
But is
it
Martin
still
saying?
doesn't follow from this that therefore our code must be also written.
Our code comes from an initial input of intelligence.
How do you know this?
Every code
that's a
comes from
basis
an initial.
claim.
No, it's always from previous experience. We have always seen that code comes from an initial input of intelligence.
Okay,
So
do
it's
you have
reasonable to
previous-
conclude if we find
No,
a
no, no.
code somewhere else, then it's reasonable to conclude that it also came from
No.
an intelligence.
That's a faulty syllogism. That's
No,
a faulty
it works like that
syllogism.
in science.
It doesn't work like that.
It
man.
does.
No. Listen. So when you so you find a structure that is code. You say life is code, okay? And you see,
The highest form of
we,
code.
we humans also have types of codes. We talk in them, we write them. We have experience of having created these man-made codes. We know that we humans, some people, somewhere, sometime, have created these codes, but we do not.
But even
have
if you didn't know
experience-
that, you could already figure it out.
I didn't finish my argument.
Okay,
but
sorry.
but we don't see, and we don't have experience with codes of living organisms. So for you to say that we must also have been written because we do possess this code, you have to be able to reproduce this. How can you reproduce this? Either you have to show that we can also write these codes and we can observe life come, etc., which I still don't know how it would follow from that there must be a other writer, like an intelligent thing, or that we cannot, no matter what we do, write this code, and that there must be therefore something that we don't know that created this code. I still don't know how.
Do you agree with the
inject
scientists?
intelligence.
Do you agree with the scientists that are listening into space for any code because they know that it could be good evidence for an intelligence? If we find any code being transported,
We are not
to our
listening from codes. We are listening for
We are
signals.
listening. Yeah, but signals, they have codes in them. Like the light.
There
I'm
can
talking
be
you
codes.
Yeah,
Like,
you can
not-
store
not
code in
necessarily.
anything.
Like
You can
it can
store
be
code in
an
anything.
anomalous signal that doesn't normally occur in nature. Like we are looking for anomalies as well, not necessarily structured or intentful code.
No,
We're
but
looking
do you
for
know that
signals.
scientists are looking into the space for any kind of code being transmitted to us, or to
Yes.
anyone?
Yeah.
And you would say that's good reasoning skills if they say that we found this code, it has sent commands to nanomolecular machines or machines in factories we found in another place, and thus our scientists we conclude that this could be very good evidence for intelligence, sending this code from another galaxy to these machines to give them commands, and then those machines execute those commands, carry out the commands.
Yeah. I would say that it would be then reasonable to assume that there could be an intelligent, signal sending entity at the other end of that, signal, like on
Yeah,
that
so
other
the
galaxy.
same argument I use at the base of life, and
It's
many
not.
scientists use it as well.
It's
Yes,
not.
atheistic scientists have become theists because of that argument, because they found that DNA code at the base of life and saw the design strategies in it and stuff like that.
Okay, so
Have you
let's
seen the
do this.
machines and everything? Have you seen the machines at the base of life that execute the code and that do all kinds of functions in the body? Have you seen the you
Yeah,
get
I
even
have
machines
seen,
that untangle the DNA, cut it,
Yeah, I
pass
have
it
seen
through?
it. Yeah.
Martin, have you still got that presentation you did on that debate?
Yeah, somewhere on my computer.
Oh, maybe next week you can go through it with Jack
Yes,
Ross.
guys. Yes. Very good. Friendly
Martin,
Muslim.
I've seen it.
Yes.
Huh? What?
I've seen it. Yes.
Yeah.
But
Very good.
what?
Like for
But have you-
example, I've seen the one that disentangles the strands, and
Okay,
the one
and,
that entangles them back.
And have you seen multiple nanomolecular machines working together almost in a production line, cutting the DNA or opening the DNA, copying it backwards, and then double
just
checking
told
the
you,
DNA?
I've seen it.
Okay, you look at all that and you say there's no intelligence behind this. That is,
I
no
don't
matter
say that
how.
there is no intelligence behind it. I say that
Okay.
I don't know that there's intelligence, but neither do I know that there isn't intelligence. All I'm saying is that we don't have information or evidence that this is not the result of some hyper complexified autocatalytic, more basic reactions that have evolved and complexified over the course of hundreds of millions and billions of years to arrive to what we now see as this complex machine-like entities that are humans and chimpanzees and viruses and whatnot.
Yeah, I
so-
am a theistic evolutionist, though. I'm a theistic evolutionist. So the same with computers. Computers work on their own after they have been created. So they can also make programs for us and upgrade themselves and make new programs for us if we design them to do so. We can use all the things in evolution in computers, and we
you
even
have
use
to-
some of the
if you
design
write
strategy.
if you write an algorithm for a program to write another program, the resulting program that your algorithm will spit out will be a result of your input. So
Yeah, but it's at the initial input. We
Guys,
only
how
put the initial every
you-
time. We put initial inputs, but
Okay,
think-
guys,
I think
can-
Martin
put
should do his
initial input.
presentation next week and present
can-
it to Zagros and convert him.
yeah.
I think
Can we
that's
do like
the only
this?
choice we have here.
Yeah, can we do like this? Because I don't think people will watch a 4 hours long video. Yeah. And,
Also, Martin, I think you are conflating emergence of life with evolution of life, because evolution by natural selection doesn't explain how the first organisms came to be. Evolution by natural selection only explains once we get life, in that, that typically they refer to it as that primordial soup, that high energy, chemically imbalanced, very chaotic environment. Once you get life, how that life turns out to become humans and other organisms that we see today. But the other side of the coin is how that first life came to be. And first of all, what is life? Where do you draw that arbitrary line where these
hard questions.
reactions, chemical reactions, turn into life? So that's the question. That's where we're trying to get at. But when it comes to evolution by natural selection, like that part, we got it.
all right, Zagros.
Yeah, I agree with evolution with natural
Yeah.
selection. I'm just a theistic evolutionist. There's
Zar-
a difference.
Zar-
I
you
think
are
the
saying
data
that
set better.
the initial
with
condition
theism.
was set by God.
Hmm?
Yeah. Zagros and
Yeah.
Zagros and Martin, please. You know what I said that I would love to also say my opinion, but because as I said, people will not watch 4 hours video, might be too much for them. So we can continue this. Remember, we can continue this one another time next week, perhaps, and then we can talk more because I have also my opinion to give. I appreciate it very much, everybody.
that's
Love you
fine.
all. Yes, peace be with everyone.
guys.
Okay, take care.
Love Zavros.
All right,
Love you,
yes,
Zavros.
love
Stay
everyone.
away from Islam.
Take care. Salam alaikum, friendly Muslims. Salam
Wa
alaikum,
alaikum salam,
Rashid,
everyone.
All right,
everybody.
everybody,
Thank you
keep
very much.
stacking.
Take care, Taco. Take care.
Keep stacking, you
brother.
guys.
Thank you. Take
And
care.
stay away from Islam.
Bye. Bye.
Stay away from
Pablo.
tacos.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye. Bye, everybody.
All right, everybody,
Thank you
keep
very much.
stacking.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, everybody. Take care. Assalamu alaikum. Bye. Until next week.